right. Let's see here. Let's see. Hopefully the mic situation is good. Let me bring it down, get a little closer to the situation. Boom, beesies. All right. Hey, everybody. All right. Thank you for tuning in. We are here. It is Saturday, and this is Know the Ledge. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Sorry for the delay. It was one of them days. Just had to take care of some stuff. Then I had to go out real quick and come back, and then also I had to scarf something down because I know I'm gonna be rocking for a bit. I got my food that I want to eat later over there, but I didn't. I noshed out on a Danish, and yes, I do have the morning cup of Joe or Joanne. Yep, that's right, Kareem. You're all over it, buddy. I appreciate you as always. Thank you guys for hanging and jumping into the show and into the chat. Salute to all of you guys. All right, so we got some stuff to talk about. I'm excited. I know, listen, the Knicks are beating up on teams they should beat up on. We're going to talk about that, but I'm still excited. A win is a win, so I'm good. You know what I mean? So I'm going to put the link in the chat just to have it out there now. I don't want to worry about it later. We'll obviously have to put it out there again later, but it is what it is. But I've already got somebody to kick it with, and you know what? This is great because this is his first time on the show, at least on the Know the Ledge show, and I'm really excited to chop it up with him, man. You guys haven't already noticed. I've been trying to actively mention a certain podcasting network a lot more because I've been saying for a minute that they do great work. You know what I mean? They put a lot of time and effort. They do so much to give you content, special guests consistently. They've added a new flavor to the show, which we all know, he's great in his own right. And he's a big Knicks fan. So, if you haven't guessed, I'm talking about the Morning Brew Sports Network. And so, as I've said, you guys can subscribe. That's great. You guys can like. Now, you should like that. That's fantastic. But take the time to view the shows, whether or not you can make it live. And I know it may be tough to make it live because they have so much content at different times. I mean, you can't be there for every show. That's okay. But if you can be part of the replay gang, that's fine. Just say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to go watch Morning Brew Sports Network. See, I missed the Knicks show. I'm going to go check the Knicks show out. And you know what? I'm also a fan of the Jets or a fan of the let me go check that out too. At least do 2 shows. You know what I mean? Just show your love. Look, show some love, man. That's all I'm asking. But anyway, all right, guys, without further ado, let me stop babbling because I am babbling a little bit. Let me do this. You know what? So I'll get it out the way because if I don't do it now, I'm going to forget. Let me hit you guys with the intro, and then I'll bring my guy up. Hold on one second. Where's that damn intro? Oh, here we go. Oh, sorry, my fault. I always forget you guys are here with me, man. See, this is why I love this guy. He's backstage. He's dancing. You know what I mean? Like the energy, man, the energy. Anyway, without further ado, let me bring my guy up here. None other than the hardest working man in the industry, man. Like, man, there's so much going on. Anyway, Jigga Man Porto in the building. Let's go. What do I got for him? Yeah. Let's go.
Man,
all right.
Audience is fantastic. Hey, good seeing you.
I know you guys were like, Jigga Man's here.
They're like, huh? Jay-Z, what? Sorry, the Puerto Rican version, and way smaller and no hip hop bars. What up, bro? I gotta be honest, Ron. This is, we've had a lot of Ron and Jigga time in the last 48 hours.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we have. Listen, if you guys haven't tuned in, please check out the Morning Brew Sports connection with SKF. Yesterday, we did the early morning joint at 11. So check out that replay game, was fun. Then I wound up, chopping it up with Jigga, Jerry, and Eddie last night. We did the watch along. Yeah, that was pretty fun, pretty cool. I liked it.
Yeah, man, I love that the playback stuff, dude. Being able to sit there, watch the game, and luckily it was one of those games that all of us felt comfortable. Like, you know what, we can talk about whatever we want while we watch the game because we all felt it should have been a wire-to-wire victory. We got that. But what people missed out on was the Proctor conversation. We ended up going into movie talk and TV show talk afterwards. Ron came with his Proctor questions. It was perfect, bro.
Listen, guys, I mean, if you don't know, I'm a big fan of Power. I still watch all the episodes, all the seasons, all the different spin-offs. And Proctor was one of my favorite characters on the show. So I always had this question that I always wanted to ask him. And so last night I got a chance to ask him. So that was great. And the great thing is that it spilled into a little bit more conversation about acting and the character and stuff. It was dope. So yeah. Man, appreciate that moment. Yeah, man. So hey, we are here, folks. The Knicks played a interesting game last night. It was one of those, like, in the back of your mind, it was never in doubt, but they did make it a little closer than it needed to be in usual Knick fashion. So but they wound up taking care of business in the end. So what were your thoughts on last night's game, Jigga?
Yeah, I mean, you said it best, Ron. Like, it was a game we knew we should take away. Like, no question, we're the way better team than they are. And at points where we allowed them to get to 5 points and all that, we talked about it last night together when we were on the playback, right? We had such weird rotations and you had 2 of your guys out, and it felt like Tibbs kept going like, here you go, guys, go in and, play around with it. It was like a cat messing with a rat. You know what I mean? Like, it was messing with its food, slapping that shit around a little bit. And then it was like, no, slap him a little harder. But I love in the fourth quarter how they came and really put it down on them. They were like, all right, let's just finish this. Let's stop playing around. But we saw good things, bro. Like, I know we'll go into a lot of guys, but the Ragu was hot last night. Okay, like, I'm telling you, what's that gif or that meme that has like a Wolverine laying there with a picture in his hand? I'm gonna edit that shit with me and Dante DiVincenzo in there, okay? Because that putback slam, I was like, oh shit, that's it. I love him.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. That was nice to see. I'm listen, the sneaky athleticism. I mean, people know he's got athleticism, but sometimes it's not always on display. So it was nice to see. Definitely nice to see.
But I mean, IQ was phenomenal. What I love about last night, again, and we can get into the RJ conversation, obviously, and the speculation of what's really going on there. You and I, who suffer from migraines and know how that goes, are they just being cautious with him and all that? But I love that it did give us a time to focus on other guys and seeing IQ still. I mean, IQ's made it clear. Okay. IQ is getting a bag. Whether it's here, whether it's somewhere else, IQ is not messing around. He looked great. Dante looked great. Jalen, hopefully he starts to keep picking up those twos a little bit. We need that to start picking up better. But, man, how many times would we just – I mean, I felt like an idiot. I went back and watched it. I was like, damn, I did this way too many times,
Which is a great thing. Exactly, that means some good stuff is happening.
But, I don't – there wasn't a lot of bad that I saw in last night, which you hope when you're playing a team like the Wizards. Right? You don't want to walk away from a game like that like, oh, this shit was a mess. It was all right. They did their job. They did what they were supposed to do. And we won our little soccer tournament, Group B, whatever we're in, I'm into it. I'm just not into those courts, bro. Please tell me what that court was last night, Ron.
The funny thing is, and I don't think everybody's ready, we still haven't seen the Knick court.
That's coming up, right?
And
who's against the Heat?
It's against the Heat. I think, and if I'm not mistaken, it's what I used on the thumbnail. If I'm not mistaken, I mean, that's what I've seen going around. I've seen another version. People said that's not it. And then I saw a different version, and I'm not sure if that's it. I will tell you that I think the one that's in the thumbnail is it, and that's an orange. That's like a creamsicle. It's interesting. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I think that's it. Let me see if I have a picture of it. I'd rather not have to show the damn thumbnail, but I think I might have to. Do I have it? Oh yeah, there we go. All right, let's do that. I'll add.
Chat is blowing up, boy. They going off in there. I see Shot Powers, Nick Yak, Megas in there.
Yeah, man.
Boy, the Saturday gang is no joke. Kerry Cox, everybody in the David Smith.
Mm-hmm.
These are all the people when I'm in the chat, just like, hey guys, how you doing? Hey, what up?
Do I have all right, well, I'll look for it. I think I have just the court by itself. I'm not sure because I put it as a thumbnail, so I got stuff blocking it. I want to be able to show it to everybody the way in which I saw it. So I will do that. Bear with me, folks. But anyway, so yeah, and thank you. So let me lead into doing that before we get into hot and heavy with the talks. Shout out to the chat once again. Don't forget that. Shout out to Walter Blackman, my guy. Appreciate you as always, Walter. Good to see you. Kareem Grant in the building. What up, twin? Appreciate you. Dwayne Dennis is here. Salute. Corey Lee, what's good? David L is in the building. He said, wait, what he say? Great win last night, but please, no curry powder takes today because we have a big game today. Let's not spoil the mood. Yeah. Wiz had some interesting stuff yesterday because I did morning brew. Then for whatever reason, I was in a talking mood. I took the day off yesterday, so I said, you know what? let me make my rounds today. Then I went over to Freezy's show. Then from Freezy's show, I did the playback with you guys last night. Then after that, I did the post game with Nothing But Knicks and Sim and Tony. I'm like, wow, I was everywhere. It was nuts. I don't know why I'm not all talked out, but it never stopped, folks.
No.
Kerry Cox is in the building, as Jigga said. Shot Powers, appreciate you. Will Salkin in the building. What's going on, Will? Appreciate you. Look at this guy. Hey,
I like him.
My guy Mega's in the building. What up, Comega? Appreciate you as always. New Knicks City and Squad. What's good? The Organic Fanatics podcast. Please check them out, man. If you haven't, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Rudy Tay in the building. What's good, Rudy? Delano Steele is here. Salute. What's going on, my brother? Greg in the building. What up, Greg? And there he is, the man of controversy yesterday. Wiz dropping bombs in there, letting it off, and he dropped the old roach bomb in there and just got out. I was like, damn, Wiz.
What did he say? Ron, IQ, and RJ are still with the team, so either my source was wrong, the deal's on hold, or the deal fell through. Oh, he was dropping real bombs yesterday.
Oh, no, he was dropping bombs yesterday, bro. I was like, okay, we'll see. Sherwin in the building. Salute, Sherwin. Appreciate you. Let me see. I'll hit a couple other people. H Money in the building. Salute. Bricks Nation is here. Salute. Nick Yak in the building. What's going on, Nick Yak? Animal Lex. What's good? I got David Smith, David L. And my guy, look at this. Oh, wait, hold on. International Andy. What's good, Andy? Appreciate you. Okay, back at it.
All right.
So,
serious time.
I think one of the things we talked about last night, and actually on Nothing But Knicks, the way he broke down stuff and how we go through the show, it made me think about something. Tibbs did something interesting last night. He bought time, right? Now, don't get me wrong. The unit that was out there was playing good defensively, surprisingly enough, but he was buying time.
Yeah.
He had out there at one point Quickley, Hart, Hartenstein. Was it
McBride?
Hartenstein, McBride.
We even saw the Frenchman last night too.
Yeah, but was it he? I don't think it was.
I know which one you're talking. It wasn't Fournier. It was McBride.
Yeah, it wasn't Fournier. It was Quickley, McBride, Hartenstein, and there was one more person that I was like, "Wow, we are not getting a lot of offense from this unit." No, I said, yeah, IQ, Hart,
Hart,
McBride, Hartenstein, and there's
Who's
one
the
more
other
guy.
one?
I don't know. Shoot. Oh, I got to pull up the roster. So I'm
Yeah,
cheating.
I was like, all right, let me see. Let me pull up. Let's see. It was
Fournier.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it was Fournier.
Sorry, he just didn't do
imagine,
shit, so we still
that,
need to
guys.
count him.
I know, right? Imagine that. So you got Josh Hart, Quickley, both decent defensive guys. Some even at points better than you would expect. Then you got Fournier. Then you got McBride. McBride has good defense. And you got Hartenstein. Hartenstein's an adequate defender too. So they actually had good defense out there, but they didn't have the best scoring. It's like out, and this is, mind you guys, this is before Quickley started to go off.
Mm-hmm.
So that unit looked like offensively, it looks kind of scary. But they were holding their own defensively, and they were clamping down, and it allowed Tibbs to buy time for his starters, which I thought was crazy because Tibbs would never keep that lineup out there for that long.
I mean, dare we say, Ron, there's been a couple games now where we actually see, even in the fourth quarter, he's bringing in like the backup of the backups. Like, we're seeing adjustments. I mean, hey, we're seeing adjustments from Tibbs. You can't really complain about it, especially to see it last night, knowing we've got a back-to-back, knowing, we've got guys that are injured with Grimes and RJ. Like, okay, Tibbs, you're making adjustments. As far as the comment about the defense, yeah, they were locking it down. What bothered me about Fournier, you remember that one play where he just got lost and they threw that three up and you saw Fournier like disappear. I think last time when we were in the playback, we talked about it looked like a kid at high school who got his knee burned. You're like, where do I go? Yeah. Mom, help. But man, you got to feel bad for Evan a little bit. Right? Because in his head, he's coming in like, all right, here's my moment. Let me get that value up. And he's chucking up those threes and nothing's going in. It's like, oh, man, Frenchie, we need something. We need something.
It's not even fair, bro, because, like, you can't expect this guy to come in, hasn't played for games. Like, no fluidity, no C word. And you can expect him to do something positive. And so this is the one thing that I don't like because – obviously, it's a little tougher for him on defense. Get it? It's all right. It's
we
whatever.
All know that.
But you hope that he goes out there, puts some points up, and it justifies him being out there. But when you put him in a situation where you just prolong the fact that he hasn't been out there, he has no. It was in the early part of the season. It was okay because you had preseason basketball. He played. They had practice, so he was still kind of in the motion of everything. But when you let him sit on the bench and rot for like 6, 7, 8 games, I don't know. Wait, maybe that was our 9th game. I'm not sure. But like that's a lot of games to not have anything going and then to go out there and just expect to put up some points. It's tough.
Yeah,
it sucks.
And you take the emotion side of it right out as fans where we're at the point now where we all hope something for him, just for him. Like not that we even rely on it. It's like, man, if you go in there, do something for you. But on a serious note, you want to look at we know he's not going to be here. Right. We all hope that come trade deadline, he is moved away. And I don't want to jump into trade talks and all that. But as far as being able to use him as an asset, every time he gets that chance, he does nothing to increase his value. Right. So that's why when people are like, oh, put Fournier, I'm like, yo, we actually are better off not putting him in there. So we're not giving anybody a look at, oh, yeah, it's still the same guy. It's still the same guy.
Right.
Hey,
exactly.
7, 8, 3, 1, and 2.
What's good, man? And I appreciate you guys.
Points, bro.
Yeah. But I hope most Knicks fans get it. I mean, most Knicks fans know what's going on. You can't. If Evan played bad last night offensively, you cannot hold him to that. That's just it's tough. It's tough to stay ready. Like sometimes you can do it, and sometimes you go out there and it's a dud. It is what it is. Appreciate you, Boulevard. Thank you as always for rocking and being a member. Yes. Shout out to Anthony 212 in the building. Salute to you, my brother. Thank you for being here and rocking. And my guy Keith Turner in the building. What up, Keith? Appreciate you, bro. Did I say Bricks Nation as well? Bricks Nation as well. Salute to you.
If you did it, you did it now. There we go.
There you go. It's done. So that was going on. Oh, Billy Goat, Rome Far Rock. Hey, I see y'all. He says salute Ron and Porto. Appreciate you. So you got that going on. Let me ask you this, Jigga. Was there anything from the game that you were surprised at other than Fournier's sighting?
Honestly, it was the way the big Ragu came out, bro. You know, like forget the putback. We, like you said, we know he's got that athleticism. We know that, but I think people haven't talked enough about it. This was the first time we saw the Villanova boys come out and start a game, right? So that was like, oh snap! Look, all this shit we've been talking all off season. We finally get to see it. But I think someone in the chat said it a minute ago, and I don't want, I don't know if you pull them up. It's up to you, but I think it was Keith that said, "Yeah, I don't ever want to hear Tibbs is holding Grimes back." You got to kind of put some stock into that, because if that's the case, he wasn't holding Dante back. Dante came out hitting those threes quick. He's confident in taking the shot. He doesn't fear. And that's what we see with Grimes, right? We know the kid has a beautiful freaking shot. When he lifts off, you're excited to see it. The problem is he's always questioning himself, second guessing. So I think this, to Keith's point, it kind of solidifies that. Yo, Tibbs isn't sitting there saying, don't shoot. He's the one that's probably still lacking that confidence, because Dante was letting it loose. Dante was playing. But, man, the other thing that really excited me last night was when Brunson went for that. He missed the shot. He went for rebound. He's on the floor. He's grinding to get it, like high school, college ball all of a sudden. And then he wins the tip, like the jump ball, too. I was like, okay, all right, Brunson, you play crazy against a team we should whoop their ass anyways. But I think Keith Turner holds a lot of weight, man. The conversation has to be, we've talked about it, Ron. Should Grimes even be in that starting unit? I love the kid, and I want to see him continue to grow. But I look at it, each year we're seeing somebody else step up into their own, right? This is the year of RJ. Last year, we all started getting really excited about IQ. Maybe it's another year out. Maybe we still need that rest of the season for Grimes to keep getting there. And then next year, it's the, here's the Grimes moment. But his confidence is still something that lacks. And I think he's right. You can't put it on Tibbs of holding Grimes back. He gave him the damn starting position.
True.
So yeah, shout out Keith Turner. I thought that was a great comment, bro.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Like we talk about all the time, man. Grimes, it sucks that I feel like it's wild that for this whole Tom Thibodeau regime, like his whole time being the coach of this team, every year the same conversation happens with a Knick player, right? Mm-hmm. For the most part, it was Obi. Because Obi was that guy that, okay, he needs more playing time. He needs this. And then it's on the flip side. Okay, after we started to see some moments where Obi could do some things, then as fans, we're starting to say, well, when you're out there, Obi, we'd like you to do this. Can you get some rebounds? Can you be a little bit more aggressive offensively? Can you work on your handle? Can you, how about the defense? Right. So that's what starts to happen. Right. And now we're at that point with Quinton Grimes. It's okay. We've noticed that Quinton Grimes hasn't played a lot over the years. He's gotten into the playoffs last year. He didn't have a great showing, but that was for him his first real playoffs that he got to play in. So, okay, all right. But then you start to say, Quinton Grimes is a starter all last year. I mean, for the most part last year, he played like 20-something minutes, 28 minutes per game. Mm-hmm. He didn't get a lot of offense. And you might say, well, he doesn't get the ball a lot. I would say there's some truth to that. He doesn't always get the ball compared to the other guys on the court. But I've also noticed, I'm trying to notice more and more, when he does get the ball and doesn't do anything with it. So it comes to his hands and then he's passing it out. So it's not an opportunity for him because he doesn't. Yeah. So he's not taking advantage of an opportunity. And maybe he can't because how the defense is collapsing. But this is where his aggression has to step up. He's got to figure out ways to make better plays to get shot opportunities for himself. The other thing is, yes, for a guy like him, and this is where I say I don't try to get on Tom Thibodeau for everything, but there are certain things that Tom Thibodeau doesn't really focus on too much because he does have good ISO players in his system. He's got Brunson, he's got RJ, he's got Randle. And so those guys you don't have to run a lot of plays for, right? But guys like Quinton Grimes, a cut, a back cut, a screen, certain things like that he needs. But once again, it can't just be on other people setting it up for you. You got to do something actively when it comes to that stuff too.
The thing too, if you remember last season, perfect example would be Grimes would get the ball a lot when Julius was dribbling too much and it was like 4 or 5 seconds left on the clock and he just had to throw it up, right? you can't really use that excuse that much. Julius is looking for people way earlier. They're moving the ball around, and there's several times that he's getting that Grimes is getting the ball, and again, just the confidence not there. He's always looking for, if that three isn't wide open, he tries to double pump so he can then go down that baseline shot. He likes to drive it in, but we're not seeing that from him. So I don't think we're in a position to just keep making excuses. I think it's more of a, hey, we're not saying he's bad. We all know he's a good player, but maybe he should be that second unit guy, right? I think you and I spoke about it yesterday a little bit on the brew, right? Like, I would be okay seeing a DiVincenzo come in with the starting lineup, right? Give us that little change. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens when he comes back from the wrist injury, but we need to see that confidence. I don't want to spend another season of having to just make excuses for players. Right? It's easy when there's multiple things that are going wrong, but when that big C word, and we're starting to see it, the continuity is happening, then it's like easier to sit there and focus on the cogs in the system that might not be holding their weight. I know it's early on the season, but I'd like to see more confidence from him. If not, let's just see what it would look like with him on that second unit again.
And this is the worst case scenario. This is how life happens, right? For Grimes, like when people have been saying, maybe Grimes should go to that second unit. Maybe, DiVincenzo should get the start. But what happens? Grimes gets hurt. Right. RJ's out. Right. Now you put Dante in the starting lineup so people can start to see what they were asking for. Tibbs sees what, maybe somebody was pondering. Because everything we talk about, guys, these coaches have already thought about it. Let's just, understand that. So,
because the reason they're getting paid, and we just sit on
exactly. The facts. So that's the thing. Like now, who knows? We'll see how it happens. Let me throw my link to my guy here. All right, hold on. Throw that.
While you do that, David Smith, for your comment, bro. Agreed. And no way am I not saying he doesn't have upside. I am a Grimes fan. If you ever check out our show on the Morning Brew, I am always going to be a Grimes supporter. But again, now that ball's moving around the way it is, and we're seeing a little less of the ISO, I think he's just going to get more opportunities to have that shot. He needs that. He needs more chances. Shaw said it 2 games ago. He did put up more. I think 11 shots, whatever. Yeah, they may not all be falling. It's a matter of he needs more chances. He needs more of that repetition. In that second unit, he might have more of that opportunity to do it with the way it flows, right? But again, now we're in that situation. It's a setback. The wrist is hurt. We don't get to see it. As he was starting to pick up a little bit of steam, you'd hope, especially these 2 games, right? The Wizards and the Hornets, that this would be where he would have that chance to kind of beat up on those teams that we're supposed to beat up. So it's unfortunate. So I'm not saying not to believe in Grimes at all. I am a Grimes fan. I love the kid's shot. He's young. I think he just needs to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Boogie, what it do?
Agreed. So, guys, look, I don't know if this is the official court or not, but this is what I've been seeing floating around. So if it's wrong, don't blame me. This is what I grabbed. But this is what I believe the Knick court is going to look like, folks. There it is. I tell you. That New York,
gonna do great for RJ's migraines. But here's the thing, Ron. At least that's the New York Knicks court. You can look at that, take the New York off of it, and if you show that court to anybody, they're gonna sit there and say, "Oh, that's the Knicks. That's the Knicks."
Yeah.
You don't look at last night's courts and be like, "Oh, that's Washington. Oh yeah, that's the Wizards. That's the no." There was nothing in that to make you think Wizards in any way.
Yeah, I think this is it, folks. I'm not sure 100%. Remember, we haven't seen it yet. There's been a lot of mocks floating around, but this looks like it might be it. So we'll see what happens when they play Miami, because I guess that's going to be the first time we see it. But anyway, let me get my guy in here. Look, you okay?
Oh, my eyes are so bright.
Hey, Jay Boogie, what's good, my brother?
Salute, 3 capital S's. Blessed health, happiness to everybody. What's going on with y'all gentlemen on this beautiful Saturday? Shout out to the world's most famous chats. It belongs up under the orange and blue umbrella always and forever, Hope y'all guys and y'all women and chat having a great, beautiful weekend, enjoying yourself, This is one weekend before that thing get to start coming out that oven. So, it's a lot of things happening this week, and starting off with these Knicks, we on this, what's this? 3 games in 4 nights, 4 games in 5 nights, or something like this. We on a run right now. That's 2 games in a row. That's 20. That's Allen Houston jersey. But I need Bernard King tonight, 30. That's 3 in a row. You know what I'm saying? I need that Julius Randle number, 30. That's 3 in a row. I need that going on tonight. And more importantly, I get to see my guy, Jigga. What's his name? Jigga. On the Broncos, bro. Jigga. I get to hang out with him tonight. You know what I'm saying? And Uncle Foley, I'm calling you out. Freezy, I'm calling you out. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling y'all out. I need to see y'all gentlemen tonight somewhere, somehow, you know. Y'all just leaving it tomorrow, get ready to head to the crib, man, and pick my family up. I'm riding. This one is coming with me and my family. They don't tell me, yo, the next 3 games you go to, we going, and starting with Charlotte. So the next 2 going to be up in New York. So, yeah, man, I'm feeling great, man. Hope everybody is. I hear y'all talking about this Grimes thing, and everybody talking about Grimes. So many people want Grimes to be more than what he is, and he's not. This is not college Grimes. This is NBA Grimes. And a lot of things, what Grimes is doing that's more importantly to me is allowing RJ to be the best person that he's becoming this year. Whereas he don't have to worry about checking the best offensive player. He don't have to worry about the best defensive player checking it. He's getting the 3rd defensive player. So he's cooking whoever's in front of him. And this is the first time really that RJ has had a chance to work on his game to get it prepared and ready for this season. And that's because he understood, okay, yeah, I got a defensive starter can take over that other role where I can, you know, and really work on my game like it's supposed to. That's why RJ is really off to a great season. It has a lot to do with Grimes. So a lot of credit that we take away from Grimes, we need to get a lot of credit to him because it's allowing RJ to be the best him, where he don't have to go out there and check the number 1 wing guy and all that. He can just get his game right. And for that day alone, I appreciate Grimes to the fullest, you know what I'm saying? That's why RJ's numbers is all the way up. Free throws is better. He's making mid-range. He's making better decisions. He's finishing at difficult angles that he couldn't make before that he's making this year. He know the angles on that backboard. He know the lane cuts and everything now. That comes from being able to work on your offensive game. And this is the RJ that we wanted to see happen, you know what I'm saying? But they traded Reggie. They got rid of Reggie Bullock. So RJ couldn't work on his game. He had to step up. Yo, we need you to beef up. We need you to get stronger. We need you to start playing these guys. And that eliminated a lot of RJ's game that year when Reggie Bullock was coming. And now this is the first year where really you're starting to see RJ get to his format because he don't have to be the number 1 defensive guy, you know what I'm saying, anymore. That belongs to Grimes. So if anybody is wanting Grimes to be more than that and don't appreciate that, what he's doing defensively and what that defensively is allowing RJ to become, you're missing the point a little bit. Not a lot, a little bit. Of course, we want him to be able to knock down them shots and everything like that. As long as he's giving hell to the best wing player and RJ don't have to do that, and he can go in the offensive end and cook like he been, great job, Grimes. Thank you for doing what you're doing. So I needed to make sure everybody know and understand that small point, you know what I'm saying, that Grimes is bringing to the table that a lot of people is really letting shy by because they want him to knock down shots. What about the hand that's in the man's face that's trying to take the shot that Grimes is defending? You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't go on the offensive run, but Grimes helps a whole lot to allow us to start a defensive run. And there is a such thing, a defensive run, defensive stops. You know what I'm saying? Is what we're doing. Why you think we're number 1 on defense? Nobody's really talking about that. That has a lot to do with Grimes. A lot to do with him. Grimes, Mitch. Yo, they're covering up a lot of faults for a lot of players. Everybody can't be a scorer. Everybody can't shoot and knock down shots all the time. Can't do that. But if you can get me 4 stops out of 5 and you miss 4 shots out of 5, and Julius comes down, or Brunson comes down, or RJ comes down and makes those shots that you stopped another defensive player from making, that's a lot of points that we're not looking at. So I just want to, give a little defense and love to Grimes, you know what I'm saying? And I hate his hand got hurt, you know what I'm saying? Because the shot was really fine a little bit. And I hope RJ comes back because this right here, I hope it doesn't break his rhythm that he had. You know what I'm saying? I hope these guys come back. But all that, these guys want to put Dante and all that starting line. No, because that makes our bench potent when you got Dante and IQ. They got chemistry. Josh Hart, they got chemistry. They rocking. You know, Hartstein, they rock. It's chemistry. So if you switch that out and put another guy, they got to start that chemistry all over again. All over again. They even one other bench that might be doing what we doing, if not a little bit better or a little bit less. That's the Pacers. You know what I'm saying? Look, we doing some things. You know, we can't have everything at one time, man. I just wanted to, you know, give Grimes some love, man, and tell everybody I love you, man. Let's get a win tonight in Charlotte, man. Smack these dudes, put them all the way down in the basement of this in-game tournament. Let them know it's over for you. Don't even think about trying to make the tournament or nothing. You know, I was trying to buy my baby some Pumas today to match her outfit, so hopefully she can get a photo with RJ today. I looked on the back and said, Melo, I threw him back.
Get out of here,
like, I don't want these. We don't give a baby some Jordans, man. What are we doing?
Jay, I'll text you in a bit, bro. Let you know what time I'm headed out that way so we can meet up before the game at least.
I'm probably gonna leave this way here, 2:30, 2:45. I'm on my way back to the house right now, so we can get ready and everything. I've been out, you know, doing my little 1-2, making sure everything's good as far as my business is and getting ready, you know. And I hit you up when I'm just about ready to pull up, man. I don't know if I want to. I shouldn't stay there tonight. My wife asked me, "Are we going to stay out there?" I should stay out there, depending on what y'all going to do. If I find enough of my brothers. Yeah, if I find enough of my brothers, and I'll stay so I can hang out with them all night. But if I don't, hey, I know I'm good for it. Hey, Jigga Man, make room at the crib. I got my wife and my baby. We coming.
Yeah, man. You know, listen, that Jay Boogie said it. That's the only thing that I keep having in the back of my mind about this whole Grimes starting situation. Because my whole thought is part of the reason why RJ is able to be this form of RJ is the fact that Grimes is dealing with the best possible offensive person on the other team, like taking that away from RJ. Because you remember there was a point where RJ was on not now. This was last year. Early, that RJ was on the top guy. The top dogs over, and he still switches here and there to take them, but it was his primary role, and he was getting cooked. Y'all know. And so that can affect you. You know, take a lot of energy out of you on the defensive end to compensate for the fact that you don't have the proper footwork. You're not in the proper. You don't have the speed to keep up with guys. You know, different things that were happening, and Grimes taking that away, I think, helps him a lot. So I agree with that. And the other thing that I was going to say, because I get it, like on the starting lineup, you want to have as much flexibility as possible, whether it be defensively or offensively, because the teams are going to try to load up, right? They're going to try to double team, Randle when they can. They're going to try to double team sometimes Brunson or put taller guys on Brunson to make it more difficult for him. So you want to have options and lanes so that they can kick it out to a Grimes to knock down that open shot to keep the defense honest, right? But my whole thing is, and this is what we haven't had yet, and so I guess that's why as fans we're a little bit more like trying to see what can make us better in this lineup. If RJ is, until he does it, I'm gonna say if RJ comes in playing the way he's been playing, Jalen Brunson plays the way Jalen Brunson plays, and Julius Randle plays the way Julius Randle is supposed to play, those three guys alone, you were talking between 60 and 90 points from three guys. That is a lot of scoring from your from your starting lineup. And then all the other guys just got to chip in 5, 6, 7 points. And by the end of the game, you're like, oh man, they're like 119, 115, 120. They like putting up points easily. It's just those guys have to be going and gelling. Now it's tough because they don't always get it at the same time, but when they do get it, sometimes 2 of the 3 get busy. So I think we just need now, as things are starting to calm down, as the Knicks are starting to find the flow, all these back-to-backs and stuff, they're starting to calm down, even though we've got another one today and we got another one coming up. I think they're starting to find their way, and I think it's not going to be as big of a concern as you would think. Now, however, being that Grimes is out, it's going to defeat the purpose. So we won't be able to see it the way I think it can happen. And that's the problem. Every time something's going to happen, we're going to get to see the Knicks the way we're supposed to see them. Something else happens. So now this will be the whole thing. And this sucks because now Dante's probably going to be starting, or maybe it'll be Hart, right? If RJ comes back tonight, for example, and you're always going to see something other than what you should see. You're not seeing the full complement of all their parts out there at the same time. So people are going to be like, "Oh, you see how they're playing without Grimes in the starting lineup," and then it's going to lend to that theory. But anyway, that's just my thought process on it. Because the other thing that I like is, and because people don't always focus on that, I like the fact that Hart and DiVincenzo can have that 1-2 Villanova connection off the bench with Quickley. I think with Hartenstein, I think the way they move the ball out there and they play good defense together, I think that's special. And so, not saying Grimes wouldn't fit that, I just think that I like what they got going on there. Sometimes that bench unit looks better than your starters, man. So I'm liking what they're developing. But hey, we'll see what happens, man.
But here's
however
the moral
it goes.
of the story. Here's the moral of the story. Every conversation we're having right now, do you realize none of it is going into the direction of we want to trade this person? No, it's where are they a better fit on our lineup? These are the conversations I'd rather have in a season than the seasons where we're sitting here talking about, oh, we got to trade this guy. And then the hate is all about, oh, how do we get rid of him? No, we're having actual conversations about what is the best way to use these lineups? What is the best way to get the most continuity from the guys, right? Some will sit here and say, hey, yes, the Grimes angle, keep Grimes in. No one's saying get rid of Grimes. We're saying let's try it out, right? Let's maybe see what it looks like, because we can also say if there's chemistry with him and IQ, wouldn't you expect that chemistry with JB and Dante, the Villanova boys that are like that, the best friends, right? So it's every way we're looking at it. It's all a good thing because we're just trying to say, hey, with the pieces we have, with our 9-man rotation, what is going to give us the most access? And what I love most is I don't feel like any answer is the right answer or wrong answer.
Right.
What it is, hey, we're finding multiple schemes that if we do keep running into injuries, we do have a game where Julius has to be out for a couple. If we have RJ out like we are right now for 3, we're able to sit here and say, hey, we're still confident with the squad we have that we're going to walk away with a W. I love that conversation opposed to how do we get rid of who needs to get rid of what. Nah, I'm good. I'm good right now.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I agree with that.
What it do, Shy? I miss your pretty face. What up, my guy?
Look at Shy Money in the building. What's good, Shy? Oh, you're on mute. You never sounded better.
My salute to y'all gentlemen on this panel today. Jigga Man, Jay Boogie the closer, and Ron. Salute, man. I'm just here to talk about some Knicks. That's all, man. I heard the conversation. It sounded real good. I said, let me try to jump on. I got a couple of minutes.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you. And I apologize, bro. You don't notice. I'm laughing inside. I'm like, oh, snap. Shaw's been waiting back in the backstage. And I was like, I'm going to get Shaw in right after Jigga goes. And then I went on my rant and I'm like, oh, shoot, Shaw's still there.
My bad. If I don't have anything else, I got patience. At least these days. My old age, these gray hair days, I got more patience than anything.
Yeah, man, that's my fault, man. I had a senior moment right there. I ain't a senior yet, but I'll be dumbing out.
What up, Shy? Blessings to you, Shy Money, my guy, man. One half of the real talk, man. Always holding it down, man. Shout out to you, my brother. You and y'all network too, man.
Thank you very much, Jay Bugs. You already know.
Yeah, man. And shout out to the chat once again. Appreciate y'all. I kind of put y'all up on the screen, but Nick's a nice pudge in the building. Freeman 48, appreciate you. Thank you for being here and rocking. 19 Con Man was good. I see a couple other people. Infamous New King in the building. Salute to you. And Fabian Williams is in the building. Salute, Fabian. What's good? Appreciate y'all. But the other thing I'm noticing, guys, we got 88 people here chopping it up with us. Please, if you haven't already done so, smash that like button for the guys and the show, the content, everything we got going on for you today. Please, it looks a little something like this. Yes, man. Please. Oh, look at that. Look at Jig.
You like that?
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, man, you do it that time. Come on, fireworks.
Wait, no, it was dope though. I like it. It worked the first time though.
Yeah, on time. It was perfect. Good stuff.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, man. So first thing I want to see, and I'm gonna put it up, but I gotta check myself because I don't have the answer. You know what I mean? Let me put this up because I know everybody's concerned about it. I'm gonna try to Google it real quick. You know, this is on the spot stuff. Like I should have had it ready, but I've been checking and I haven't seen anything. But I'm like, I gave it a little more time. It's gonna be 1 o'clock, so maybe the game is at 6. Maybe we have an update. Maybe I'll give it another minute. Nah, I'll check now. Whatever. What's 1 minute? It should be up, right? Let's see. Okay, so the question was, the hell is it? Come on, Ron. There we go. Yeah, how serious is the Quinton Grimes injury? So let's go check the injury report. See what we got here.
So I mean, everybody was saying that they saw him with a little wrist cast yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the game.
Yeah, look like one of those contortion bracelets that you pull over with the Velcro and stuff like that. Could be something like this to stabilize the joint or whatever it is that they say I think it was a sprain or something like that. So you know, you get some of that new tape they got, that tape that they wrap around your hand. You see all the guys with them. I forgot the actual name of it. So he'll probably he may not come back this game. We might not need him, but he may be ready to come back. That brace didn't look too it didn't look like, it wasn't a cast. That's right. What I'm grateful of. It wasn't a cast. A cast mean 2 to 4 weeks or something like that. That was just one of those arm sling with the Velcro facets so it could stay in place.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys, man.
I mean,
Thank
I look
you,
at
Sean.
it, if there's any 2 games that you're okay with missing guys like RJ or Grimes,
right? Facts.
You would pick these 2 teams.
This is the
right?
one. Yeah,
these would be the ones you're like, okay, rest up, heal that shit. All right, let's not push it. Because I don't know. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, Ron. I gotta believe if that was the Heat last night, RJ's out there. If he's smiling and looking like he was pregame, RJ's playing last night. But it's the Wizards. It's like, all right, sit down, relax, enjoy looking at the ugly ass court for the tournament. Let's save you, you know. But yeah, I mean, everything I've looked up since this morning, still nothing other than it's just a sprain. There's been no big report on it.
Facts, 100%. And let me tell you, these in-season courts are ugly. But that Knicks court, look at that orange. Woo-wee.
Yeah, I think that's all right there, Ron.
I think this is it, bro. I think that's
all right there.
Man, I don't know what to say about this, guys, but you know, it is what it is. Like, you know,
Ron just pops that shit up without warning anybody.
I'm sorry, man. That's rough, man. I'm sorry.
oh shit.
Yeah. You gotta, you know, check your, you know, make sure you get your eyes dilated, all that good stuff. You need it, man. That orange is strong, and that New York. I know. Listen, let me just say this once and for all. This is my final opinion on it. Them new City Edition uniforms are fly, right? But I don't care what nobody says. I'm not getting over that New York lettering. I don't rock with it. I don't like it. But the uniform itself is pretty fly. I like it. That lettering is not doing it for me. I was
okay with the stripes. You know what I mean? Like, I was good with it. I think the doubled up. I told you, man, I feel like even with the courts we're seeing, it's like they started a new intern program, right? They took a bunch of these kids and they're like, do you want to be a graphic designer? Here's a basketball court. Go to work. And people voted on it. My son's class in high school, they all voted on it. They're like, that's the one. You're like, what the hell? Because somebody.
You know what I didn't think? I did not think about this, guys. Hold on. What? I didn't think about that.
19 guys, I feel drunk after looking at that court. Julian said, burn my brain cells. Building blocks, hideous. Did you guys think about this? Look at this court. What color is the basketball, folks? Oh, no, I thought about that. You're not fighting the basketball, man.
I'm like, how are they going to pull this off, man? This might be a little tough. We'll see. That's interesting. Guys will be like this.
Where the hell? You're like passing and no one catches it. You're like, it's going to be fun.
Basketball, man. They got a new basketball, man.
Do they?
They got a new basketball. The basketball is blue.
I don't know. Jay Boogie might be hit me with a curve, but you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they did something crazy like that. They probably won't, though. I mean, because I don't know that the basketball it's a little different color. It's not straight orange. It's more like a reddish orange. But I don't know.
Building Block said Jalen Brunson said the basketball is brown.
Oh, Brown. Maybe that's it. Okay, maybe. I mean, still. I mean,
the Brown basketball.
I don't know. Somebody's. I'm just saying. Don't be surprised if somebody dives on the floor to get the ball and they're just on the floor.
Yeah,
you know, there's no ball there.
Basketball.
I'm just saying.
The commissioner should have made all the basketballs the same color as the trophy.
Ooh. That actually, you know, if you're gonna do something wild, yeah, that I hear you, Jay Boogie. I mean, the FIBA games, the basketball is different, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it is. So yeah, man, you know. Yeah. I mean, you know, it is what it is. Hey, man, this number is going up and down, man. I see 100, 106, 95. We still got more people tuning in. Please smash that like button on your way in. Smash that like button on your way out. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and supporting the show. And my fabulous panelists today, you know, Jay Boogie jumping in. You see him on the road in transit. Shy Money popping in. Jigga Man Porto is here. And what's dope about this is like we play the Charlotte Hornets tonight, and two of my brethren are gonna be hooking up, man, showing some love down there, chopping it up at the game. And who knows who else might pop up? Like, you never know. Freezy might head out. You know, Josh might head out, like they said. I wonder if hey, Shot, do you know if is Divine gonna head to the game tonight?
He's not going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's a little farther than him. But if you would have,
oh wait, hold on. Shot might not be able to make the show anymore, guys.
We was on last night. And I know he said we coming on tonight. I don't think he's going. If he do, we gonna have a live broadcast from the stadium in the building outside.
I got you. Shout out to Drip Moore in the building, the preferred barber of SKF and the Knicks community. Let's go, Drip Moore. Yes. Appreciate you, my brother.
Drip Moore always in the building. And if you see Drip Moore, you turn it upside the other way, you're going to get more drip. Yo.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, Ron, I know it's your show. I don't want to overstep. Can I just address one of the comments in a negative light that's in the chat?
All right, hold on. I got you. Yeah, you definitely can. No, listen, I do that all the time on other shows. So I appreciate you. Let me just shout out a couple more people real quick. Mellow Tech in the building. Salute. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Building Blocks is in the building. He's not a big fan of the court. I got you. 19 comment got dizzy. I hear you. I think I got everybody who might have popped into and said, "Oh, Jeremy Nussbaum in the building." Salute, Jeremy. Appreciate you. All right, get ahead. Do you want me to put it up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure if you're looking in the chat real quick, you probably know which one I'm going after. But you know, it's not in a bad way. But Nick Yak, my guy, listen. At what point do you realize maybe it's how you're hearing and receiving the content, that maybe it's you that's hearing it in a negative light? Because not a single person on this panel trashed Grimes in any way. Not a single person sat here and said, we want to get rid of Grimes. Grimes sucks. We are giving options for our team, but what we feel might be moves that our team can make to better each unit. No one's calling to get rid of Grimes. So to sit there and say fans trashing Grimes just want to be right, stupid content creators and all that, maybe it's the way you're funneling it in, my guy. Because Jay Boogie just praised the shit out of Grimes defensively. Shaw Powers said Grimes is legit. Ron said Grimes outside of the double pump and not knowing what at times to take the shot. No one's bashing him, my guy. All right. Sorry. Back to your show.
Listen, no, it's fair. No, man, but the fact that you could even do that and it might work, I mean, it's pretty dope. I think, you know, what's happening so far, we've seen early in the season is that Knicks fans are like, some are content with understanding that the process they've wanted to see is starting to really happen. All these young players that they wanted to play are finally getting better and developing, and we're seeing them be focal points of the offense. Yes, we are wanting more from some of them, but you're noticing they're getting the play. One thing you cannot talk about, I don't even know why I'm bringing it up, because we can't talk about it anymore. These guys are playing. They're getting minutes, right? Outside of Deuce, right. But it is, you know why. but that stuff is happening. So the fan base has always been split. It's been split between the guys, the people who want to see young guys play and develop and how we can cultivate and where we go from here, and the other side of the people who might want, star talent in here, who want to win a ring now, who want to see a championship, who's been waiting forever, who've been Knicks fans through the 90s and stuff, like myself. And they're tired of it, and they want to see where we're going. We're tired of seeing other teams get to the promised land, or other teams have, deep playoff runs. So that's always going to be the case.
Nick Yak said not the panel. All right, my bad, Nick Yak. I saw it. I was just like, damn, man. I didn't say I hated the kid. I love him. So Nick Yak, my apologies. We good. I love you, bro. I know I see you in our chat as well, so I appreciate
it. Okay. Shout out to Danny Landis in the building. Salute Danny. Salute Kevin Middleton. Was it Kevin? Was that Kevin I saw, or was it someone else? Yeah, it was Kevin. Yeah. Salute to Kevin Middleton. Appreciate you, brother. King Ribby in the building. What's good? Yeah, so you're going to have that split, that divide, right?
Well, you get it with the Julius, you get it with the RJ. We've been dealing with it forever.
Right. It's always going to happen. You just got to go with the flow and understand that in the end, we all want the same thing. We want our team to win and possibly be in play for a championship. But right now, we can't be mad. Listen, I'm going to say this one more time. One more again, guys. This Knicks schedule, if you're not understanding, has been a nightmare. It's not necessarily about the competition, because we've got some games against Charlotte, the Wizards, and all that. It's about the amount of games that this team has had to play in a short season, just starting the season, getting your legs together, getting the C word continuity, getting that chemistry going, and you got all these games back to backs, and then 5 games in 8 nights. In this case, we're playing 4 games in 5 nights. Like, it's all this stuff that's happening. The Knicks have had the worst run, and I don't know about other teams, but I know around the league, I've also heard the Knicks have had a brutal schedule to start because of the amount of games you have to play in short periods of time.
Yeah, the back-to-backs are ridiculous.
Yeah, so we're starting to get through that, guys. But even though that, we're 7-5 right now throughout all of that. Listen, I don't know how y'all feel. I'm feeling great. I think this is going to be fantastic. When things start to slow down and they get more rest and some time in between games, I think the Knicks is going to run. It's going to be a buzzsaw out here, my opinion. So just relax. We good. We good money. Okay. So let me get off of my little rant. That's all I had. Like, once again, please smash that like button. Show your love for the show. By the way, let me get my social stuff out there. Because I forget.
And you want us to be more of a contender team, which we are a contender team, but we haven't lost to nobody that's not, a team that's doing some things in the league right now. You know what I'm saying? We don't lost New Orleans, Milwaukee. Who else? With Boston twice. Somebody else we lost to. But all those are winning playoff teams that if the season ended right there, they're in the playoffs. So,
because honestly, Jay Boogie, I would say the only one that was a loss that we probably should have not had was probably that Cleveland game, right? We all felt like that. Outside of that hiccup, we lost the ones. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a contender team, though. You know what I'm saying? So even though we split with them, we should have won with them. But that's
right.
A contender.
You can accept it. Right.
We're not out here losing against bums. We smashing them. So
right, 100%. So guys, listen, if there's any people out there who want to show support to the show in a monetary means, and if you don't do super chats and stuff like that, by all means, the Cash App is there. $ still Knicks fans if you want. And outside of that, the other thing that I wanted to mention is, if you don't want to do that and just maybe you want to make a monthly contribution of a small denomination, and you just want to join the channel, you can also do that by being a member. It kind of looks a little something like this. You see, you got the orange and blue level, you got the John Starks level, you got the 90s Knicks level right there. Click that button and that's how we get down, man. So appreciate you guys. Please smash that like button. And before we get into the next thing, I just want to give another shout out to the chat. Geraldine McIver is in the building, folks. The first lady of still Knicks fans and the Knicks community. Hit that like button. Smash everything you got. That's it. We here, baby. Geraldine is in the building. Yes. What's up, Geraldine? Appreciate you. And Now he's gonna be like, damn, I gotta follow Geraldine. I get the just hello. And shout out to my guy Jay Ellis for the Nick of Time show. What's good, Jay? Appreciate you, bro. Oh man. Great show, great panelists, great chat. Great support today, man. Thank everybody for coming out and showing the show love. This is fantastic. We had a nice win last night. The Knicks are showing you that they can get stuff done when they need to get stuff done. And so I can't be more happy about that going into tonight's game. So that being said, folks, the next thing I wanted to kind of get into is, because I think this is a quick thing, not going to take too much out of us to talk about this. Is just what is going on with this in-season tourney, man, because I'm still trying to figure it out myself. But the Knicks get the first in-season tournament victory. You know, we're on the board. It's 4 games. We're in Group B, as Jigga said, our soccer group.
It's the Pele NBA tournament. That's all I know, man. That's all I'm calling it, the Pele.
Let me see if I got this. I think I got it. I had it. Oh man, I have it on the NBA wrap up. We went through the in-season tournament things. I had some slides I put together with the groupings, but if I can find one right now for our group, I will definitely put it up. But yeah, so if not, I'll just cheat and go look at it. But yeah, you know, we've got these groupings, and I think the top 2 teams get into the next round. Is that correct, Jigga? Is that from your knowledge? Or Shah, do you know?
I'm not exactly sure that end tournament. I just barely got the name right, saying it on the pod. I was calling mid-season tournament. You know what I mean? So I still don't know how it really works out. I know it's some type of knockout. Top team, the scoring makes a difference in it and stuff like that. You have to have a certain amount of points, so you can have an advantage over something or some of them stuff like that. I don't really know. Yeah,
so I know, like, our group, we've got the Bucks, us, obviously, the Heat, the Wizards, and the Hornets, right? And that's our Group B. And then before the knockout round, I believe it was the best head-to-head record in the group stage, and then the point differential. So to me, when we were looking it over, it's like if you walk away with 3 wins, you're kind of moving on. Right. But if you don't, and you got multiple, 2 or 3 teams are at that 2, then that's where the point differential comes in. And that's where that wild card knockout round happens. So there's a wild card before the knockout. So there's still stuff to kind of try to figure out how it all works. All I've been telling myself is beat the Hornets, beat the Wizards, beat the Heat, and then we'll figure out the point differential and all that shit. Last night, as far as point differential, that helped us the way we ended last night, getting those extra points.
I really think that's one of the main reasons. I mean, Tibbs run his team, he doesn't run them hard this year as much, but I think he left them out on the court a little longer to build that lead back up to 20 points or so just for this tournament. I believe so. I'm not 100% sure, but I think this tournament thing with that point differential and all this other stuff, I think that was another reason why he let the team play a little longer before you seen Sims and Deuce McBride and all of them come in and do what they had to do.
Right. That makes sense. I don't know if this is so frustrating, guys. Life of a content creator. Because I don't know where I have it saved in my downloads of stuff I created before, but then I go over to NBK and I look at the NBA wrap-up show and it's right there. Like, I can't bring it over. Like, come on, man. Anyway, whatever. Sorry, guys. I'll move on. Maybe I'll find it somewhere else. But yeah, I had the groupings together so I could pop it up. I'll just do it the other way and
well, here, you want me to read this one here from what was sent to me?
Yeah, please.
All right. So he just messaged me on Twitter and said 8 teams will advance to the knockout rounds. The team with the best standing in group play games in each of the 6 groups, and 1 wild card team from each conference. The wild card team will be the team from each conference with the best record in group play games that finished second in its group. So, all right. So whoever's in the first spot automatically, and then you've got the wild card guys that all then go into a knockout round. And even reading it right now, all I hear my brain cells doing is popping because I didn't understand a word I just read. All right. I know English. I can read that shit and still have no idea what I just explained. So enjoy that. All right.
Yeah. No. I don't know, bro. I don't know. The only thing I know for certain that is easy to digest is that it's only 4 games to start.
Here we go.
That's it. So what I can do, guys, I'll just, if I can't pull it up on the screen, I will just read it to you guys. I'll tell you this. Right now, the groupings is the Knicks are in Group B, which is in the East. It's Milwaukee, it's the Knicks, it's the Heat, it's the Raptors, and it's the Hornets, right? So it looks like, oh no, no, wrong. Yeah, okay, no, we're right. It is Miami that we're probably going to see the Knicks court. Yeah, so that's Friday, November 24th on ESPN.
Right, Friday,
yeah. Mm-hmm. So, okay, so man, they really spaced these games out. Interesting. So just so you guys know, the Knicks have played. It's a 4-game, obviously scheduled to start. We already played Milwaukee. We know we lost that one. We played Washington last night. We got that one, so we're 1-1. We will play Miami next Friday at the Garden. We'll see our new court. And then we got one more game initially, which is Tuesday, November 28th versus Charlotte. And that's at Madison Square Garden as well. So, yeah, that's what's going on with that. I hope you guys understand how the in-season tournament works and you're clear about it, because I'm not.
Let me ask you, Ron, because even without us understanding, obviously, I saw Sherman's comment. He's like, the thing's nonsense. It's made for Vegas. I kind of agree with him on that, but it's also a marketing play, right? For those of us that are watching every game anyways as Knicks fans, this is just an ugly court to us. This, to me, was geared more towards those that don't commit to watching games throughout the season. Now it's like, hey, it's an added little tournament and it means more. And now coaches maybe won't sit their guys as much because we added these extra games in there. So you're going to get those matchups that they want to really produce money. Your Knicks and Bucks games, your Knicks and Heats games. Like, they want that. Who really, when the Charlotte Hornets and the Wizards are the shit that they are, who really wants to sit there and watch that, right? Us crazy Knicks fans that are loyal, we watch that shit. So this is a marketing ploy to be like, hey, you may have never tuned into this game because you can give 2 craps about a 2-10 record Washington Wizards, but hey, there's money on the line. It's a marketing thing, the ugliest ass courts ever. But you know what? We watch every game anyway. So I don't think we need to understand what the hell the tournament is, right? That's why we don't care as much. That's just my piece on it, all right?
Yeah, no, I hear you. I agree.
Yeah, I also hear you too, Jigga. I still, after both of you guys read the breakdowns of everything on the thing, I'm still like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I know we in section B. I know we in the B thing. That's about all I can recall. Anything after that is like, yeah. All right.
If the court looks ridiculous, you know you're in a tournament game. That's it.
Right.
That's what I know.
Right. I will tell you, from that side of it, that's kind of genius, because at least you're not going to be that confused. If the court looks weird, you know it's an in-season game going on. All right.
Look,
okay.
I mean, do you guys agree though? If you look at some of these other teams, the players seem to care a bit about the tournament. They care about the money.
I'm starting to notice it. And I told you, them young guys, man, them young guys want that money. That's $500,000. That's nothing to sneeze over. Yeah, the LeBrons of the world, maybe not so much, but like them young guys, yeah. And Craig says that, Ron, YouTube saying you've been on since 10 hours ago. I don't know. That's crazy. I don't know. I think who knows? Maybe it's because the show started at 11 something, and technically maybe it's got that the show was like 11 something last night. I don't know, but whatever. I'll take it. Yeah, we working hard out here in these streets. Shout out to Chris Woolard in the building. What up, Chris? Good to see you as always. Appreciate you. There you go. Another person of the Organic Fanatics podcast. What's good? What up, Rebel? Most likely it's you.
Yo, I gotta tell you, bro, I do love your marketing team, bro, because I was slick. The organic, I'm telling you, every time I see that, I'm like, yo, that's good marketing right there. That degree going to work, my guy.
Right. CC in the building. What up? The man, the myth, the legend, Cartagena himself is here. Salute to you. Let me see. Was there anybody else that I saw popping in down there that I might have missed? No, but there is one more that I want to salute and read your question. Shout out to Judge Lawyer. Now, I know this is your first time being here. And if it is, I think I'm right. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here and subscribing to the show, because we got subscribers only on. So thank you for being here and rocking. Hopefully you appreciate the content. If this is your first time, if not, thank you for popping in. He said, speaking of the Boston Celtics, try to copy Nuggets by trading for Porzingis. Big man who can shoot threes and pass. Who would you rather have, Randle or Porzingis? If I'm being honest, and these guys can chime in as well, if I'm being honest, Julius Randle. If I'm being honest with myself, because at Julius Randle's best, I just think that he's a hell of a player at his best. Now, does that take something away from Porzingis? No, because I think Porzingis is a hell of a player too. He's a unicorn for a reason. He can do so many different things out there on the court. But I really got to tell you, if I'm just like, I got to look at everything. And I think Julius is very durable for the most part up until these recent injuries. The other thing about it too is I just think Julius can do just a little bit more out there when he's going right. Like Porzingis is a center. He can only do so much. He can't bring the ball up the court. I mean, he can. He physically can. We know he used to be a point guard when he was shorter, right? But he just doesn't do that type of stuff. That's not a part of his game. And I don't think, the Celtics want to use him that way either. But it's like, I just think that when Julius is right, he's a really good player, man. He doesn't get a lot of credit because it's his fault, because he doesn't always perform at the highest level each time. He gets you by, and the Julius numbers. But when he's at his highest, I take Julius. What's your thoughts, Jigga?
Yeah, I don't even have to go into a long take on it, bro. Like, it's an easy answer for me. It's Randle all day, every day. And my takes when it comes to Randle, bro. There's a reason I bought that 30 jersey. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. In the offseason, would have been nice to have KP as an addition. I know 19 Con calls my brother out all the time. No KP, Phil. No KP. Because my brother was huge on wanting to bring KP in here, right? But you look at it now, and it's like, yeah, that'd be nice to have that as someone that's there with the rest of the team. But when you've got the Bash brothers that we have with Mitch and Hartenstein, I don't think we need a Porzingis, man. Listen, I hope the guy stays healthy. Good for him. If he stays healthy and he does what he's going to do, that might be the best move in the offseason by a team, was adding Porzingis to that squad with Drew Holiday and all them, But, right. Yeah, I'm not on the KP side. I pass on that all day, every day. Keep Randle right here.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
what's your thoughts, Ja?
I was a little bit on the bandwagon like your brother, Phil. Yeah. Like Phil was. I thought I was putting maybe Mitchell Robinson in the deal just because of what KP, has done with Boston now. He spreads the floor. He could drive the basketball. He could shoot the short jump shot. He's pretty much automatic from 3-point land. He is a defensive juggernaut. He can block shots. He can rebound the basketball. You know what I mean? Just to give us a different perspective of our offense. But would I have traded Julius Randle for KP? No. Right.
That's why I said if it was in the offseason, we brought him in as a piece to go with it.
Right.
Yeah, but the either or, that's where you have to, if I have to, gun to the head, what's my answer? I go with Randle.
Right. I think it all, it's all about timing too, because say the conversation came up, would you trade Julius Randle for KP pre-injury? Yeah, maybe like if KP was somewhere else and they had him and it was before the injury. Oh no, because then you're like, well, who knows what this guy's going to become, right? But now, after the injury and him finding himself again and realizing what his game is and maturing, now you know what KP is. And not that KP's bad, but he's not like next level good.
And it also makes it so much easier now that we're seeing what Mitch is. Right? Like, this is the coming of age for Mitch Robinson. You know what I'm saying? Right. So now all these little questions that we were thinking about in the offseason are irrelevant. That's why it's done. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's like, all right, well, I have the Porzingis conversation anymore because Mitch, the way he's balling out, that changes everything for us, man. 100%.
Yeah. But don't get me wrong. I like KP though. And I like the new KP because I feel like he knows who he is and what his role is in the NBA. And I think, he doesn't have to be crazy and doing all this type of stuff and have to go run and put back every shot that hits the rim. Like he knows how to play the game now. I really like the way he's playing. So, yeah. Shout out to you, Judge Lawyer, once again for that question. Thank you.
I have a question for Judge Lawyer. Judge Lawyer, are you a judge? Were you a lawyer then a judge, or are you Aaron Judge's lawyer? I mean, I'm confused here.
See if you can give us an answer to that one, because inquiring minds want to know. And yeah, shout out to Jay Ellis. He says it's not always pretty with Randle, but he can do more. Yeah, agreed.
Right.
Agreed.
There you
go. Okay. And I apologize, guys. Just, bear with me. My son had to step out, so he would be here right now doing this for me. But I got a delivery coming in a little bit. So if you guys can hold me down for a couple minutes while I just let that delivery in, that'd be great. You'll know because the person's gonna hit that annoying ass buzzer. And anyway. Shout out to Parrish Duggar. Thank you for the generous super chat, my brother. He says, newsflash, adults are so full of themselves. Kids, customers, and game makers love the in-season tournament and color schemes. This ain't about you adults. Yeah. No, listen.
Go ahead.
It's all right.
Yeah, again, no complaints. But you know what, Parrish Duggar? I'll tell you what was even better. The NFL turning Toy Story into an NFL game. Did anybody catch that? Now that was some marketing. My nephews were like, "We're watching football." I was like, "What?" I ran in and I was like, "Oh, the Toy Story." All right, that shit was dope. But all right,
I remember that. I saw it. Listen. Honestly, I'm just being a homer and being a curmudgeon or whatever. Everything is fine. The wild courts, it's okay because I know it's limited. I know it shows the distinction between what's regular basketball and this new in-season thing. That's fine. Honestly, what really bothers me the most is that New York lettering, because it's not just on the jerseys, it's on the court, and it's on all the new merch they got. Some of that merch is fire, and I'm like, I'm not buying it because I don't want to see that lettering. That's it.
And let's be real. Right now, we're seeing a graphic. Maybe when we see it live and we actually get to witness it might look great. I mean, I'm never going to complain about orange and blue. So especially as a Knicks fan, but I just have a feeling it's going to be very interesting on the eyes.
What graphic is that? Oh, is that one? Right?
Yeah, I did it again.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry. I just in case we didn't know what it looked like. There it is again. Sorry, guys. Yeah. No forewarning. Just go at it as you will.
Hey, and the lawyer answered me. All right, appreciate that, lawyer. Love Aaron Judge as a Yankee fan and lawyer as a profession. Man, those are two.
Oh, really? Wow. So look at Jigga. He was kind of on. I didn't guess that. That's interesting. Nice. Dope.
Die-hard Yankee fan over here, right? Captain Judge.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. Nice. I like that. Shout out to Frank Matos. Used to call him Sasso in the building. He has a question. He says, let me get this off. Man, I don't want you guys to go blind. Sorry. My bad. I only take so much of that. He says, who is the one player we need to go after to improve this team? Okay, hold on. I'm going to come back to that question in 1 second because there's something that leads into that question that I think that I have here. Because it matters. It matters. I think that question goes hand in hand with this question. And so we should probably, let me get rid of this second StreamYard. My apologies. I got a lot going on over here. Yeah, I think this works. So this is the piggyback question. Your question is the piggyback question to this one. Do the Knicks need to add a superstar in order to get to the next level? Got you, Jigga. Let me get Jigga's thoughts on this first.
So, I mentioned it yesterday when we had you on the Morning Brew, right? I'm in a state right now where I'm not sitting here saying who we need to go get, okay? I'm more on the who I don't want to hear anymore, right? Stop throwing names that I don't want to have the same stupid conversations like that damn Levine conversation, okay? I'm on the side right now, and I don't care if people say, "Oh, he's drinking the Kool-Aid." That's fine. I'm a freaking fan, people. I drink whatever. Right? But when are people going to start looking at our team and say, "We are the we've got superstars"? Okay, Mitch Robinson, is he not playing in superstar level right now? Yes. Is RJ Barrett coming out when he's healthy looking like a superstar? Yes. Why does it have to be a superstar? Do I think we need to go get some pieces to take us to that next level? Yes. But I think the superstar narrative is outplayed. Go get me somebody that's going to give us the consistent 3 shooting. Give me somebody that's going to be able to be utilized by Tibbs and not sit down the bench like a Fournier. So right now, for me, I don't have a specific person, because when you throw out those specific names, why is the follow-up question not, okay, how? Who are you giving up? What are you getting rid of? It's easy to say, oh, just throw picks out, but no one wants to sit there and be like, hey, that name, you're going to have to give up an RJ. Hey, that name, you're going to have to give up an RJ and IQ and a Grimes. Hey, that name. So right now I'm saying, you know what? I have a squad that we're watching grow. We're watching them continue to build. Yes, we're not up there with the Bucks and them yet, but we're damn competitive against them. So yes, do we have a ceiling right now? Yes, but I feel like we're in a position right now when we get RJ back healthy, Grimes' wrist is okay, that we're able to sit there and really start pinpointing on, hey, we don't need to go get that crazy massive contractor guy just because it's a name. Let's make a move that's going to just add that elevation for us come trade deadline. So that's where I'm at. Please don't DM me on Twitter. You guys get mean sometimes. All right, it's just how I feel. All right?
I hear you. Shah, what's your thoughts? Do we need a superstar in order to get to the next level?
I acquaint the superstar as being like that level A player. And right now, I'm not sure. We have a couple of a lot of good B plus standing players, some high level C plus players right now. If we do quest to go get this quote unquote A style superstar, like Jigga said, we're going to lose a whole lot of our B players, plus a couple of our C players, plus some draft picks and stuff like that. And I just don't see the outlook right now. The Knicks team right now, they have 3 starters that can score almost 24 points a game. You got Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, and Jalen Brunson. I mean, what more of a player do you need to say that they're a superstar now? We already equated Brunson now as the closer. And I mean, there's a shirt out. Salute to Sam. He has a shirt out right now.
That comic shirt.
That comic Marvel, that shirt is fire. You know what I mean? And it's a good breakdown or analysis of what Brunson really is right now to the Knicks. And I mean, and now that Julius Randle is starting to get back into form, we are seeing back a all-star, superstar, maybe not MVP player type, but a player that can possibly be one of our top 15 players in the league.
What's crazy too, Shah, is we're in such a catch-22 situation, you know, because we can accept as fans like, hey, we are not a championship team. We have that ceiling right now. We know that. We're like, can we get past that second round, right? We know we're still there. We as a fan base know we're missing something. Right. It's just a matter of what is going to be that piece. I've said it before and people hated on me about it. I hate that we went into the season without a true backup power forward. I do. I mean, that's just, you know, like the Yankees going into the season without a left fielder. Like, it's just malpractice. Like, you should have had a better situation there. But same time, you sit there and you're like, well, you're also working with a guy who only plays 9 guys. And, you know, so everything in our situation is a matter of watch and see. Because I'm seeing names that people are throwing in there, like the Wiggins name, you know. Hector on the Morning Brew talked about it. He's big on head. Go get a Wiggins, right? It's just when you sit there and look at the cost analysis, what's it going to take? Is it getting somebody that then takes away pieces that we need to make it that we're getting that? You know, why take 1 step forward to take 2 steps back kind of thing? You know, that's why I feel like it's such a catch-22 right now, because there are names out there, man, that you're like, ooh, you know what? That would be nice. But then when you look at what you're throwing in to make it happen, this is an NBA 2K where I put the settings all the way down. I'm just like, accept every damn trade. You know, so it makes it difficult.
Yeah, it is definitely hard to try to figure out, you know, if you're looking at, you know, some of those names that are out there, like the biggest name out there, Embiid. And I mean, we will actually have to give up, you know, possibly three of our starters.
Yeah,
plus
and my firstborn.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Two of our bench players, plus probably about 4 or 5 first-round picks. Is that really worth it? We have a good team right now. We have a couple of players that have that may make the All-Star team this year. It may be a year I forgot what year it was. We had about 2 or 3 players in the All-Star game, and we haven't had that in such a long time. But maybe we might see a RJ. Maybe we may hear some chirps about Brunson. Maybe Randle comes back in the form, and he may be somewhat of an all-star this year. We also have names like the sixth man of this year for being Quinton Grimes, a defensive player that we haven't had on the maybe mentioned in a long time, in Mitchell Robinson. So we have some quality cog players on our team that really can be maybe, if you don't want to say superstar, we have star-like players on our team, and I think we have a good. Yesterday, I want to say this too. I got in a little late. The salute to Tom Thibodeau. I said this on the cast with me and Divine that I was going to be watching how the second unit played, how Tom Thibodeau is going to matriculate the way he substituted the players, and he did it excellently yesterday. So we got some good players, and it all depends on who we get in the finals. We make it be a contest for a finals.
You know what I would love to do, Ron? Maybe we should get a list together. If we're going to go with superstars, let's base it off of superstars that show up in the playoffs, right? Maybe have a list of here, not your normal here's guys that when they're there, they step up to that. If those are available, let's break those down one episode. Maybe get together, we'll cross promote that. I'd love to see guys that when we're in that can get us past the second round. Because again, we have a team that can get us to the playoffs. We can get to the dance. We need something that's going to help elevate us in that playoffs, right? So if we were to sit there and separate, most people, if you're sitting here saying right now we are out by the second round, you're saying we're making it to the playoffs. So we're in agreement that we have a team that's good enough to make it there. Now, what do we do to get to the championship? What if that deal isn't just your everyday superstar? What if it's that stud in the playoffs that's available? Bring me that guy.
Right.
I want
that. There's a lot to it, and maybe that's what we got to go over. And just wanted to say, I know Jigga's got to get out of here, but I wanted to say that I think that we don't need a superstar. I'm in agreement. I think this team is a lot better than people want to give it credit for, as we fighting with ourselves. Do we need one more guy? I think so. Yes. The ideal person to me is that 3-and-D type guy. Someone that has a little bit extra length, and it's not necessarily. And I want to say this with the whole thing that if the Knicks don't have a 3-and-D guy, is it a nightmare for us? No, because we're playing good defense. We're not top 1, 2, or 3 anymore. Currently, we're actually top 5 right now in defensive rating. We took a little step back, but that's okay. That's going to flip flop, but we're still top 5 in defensive rating with us having a bunch of smaller guards here. So I don't think it's as big of a deal as we might have thought it might be, at least right now. But in time, we'll see where it goes. But we do need maybe one extra player who can get the ball in the basket. I think that's important because, there are going to be nights where Brunson doesn't have it or Julius doesn't have it. Maybe they both don't have it. And we need something to come out of that bench scoring other than Quickley, because DiVincenzo can go get it, but I wouldn't say he's necessarily a go-to guy for offense. Right. Neither is Josh Hart. So you might need one more guy who can fill it up a little bit. So that's pretty much what I think I need. And
I'm gonna tell you right now, Ron, Ice Mike, man, that hurt, bro. That hurt my feelings, Mike. All right, especially as a Yankee fan, that hurt. You guys sound like Brian Cashman.
Oh no,
that's just hurtful, Mike.
That's rough, man. That's rough.
that is ice,
rough,
Mike. Ice cold, Mike. All right, thanks.
Nah, that's definitely ice, Mike. Yeah, damn, man. Yeah, so I think that they need somebody out there, and I said it last night on NBK. The perfect guy to me. I know we talked about this before, but now I think he looks perfect because he started off the season well. You already know he's got the defense, and we're not going to get him. Is OG Anunoby? I think OG would be perfect, but it is what it is. damn it, man. It's always these relationships.
I plead the fifth.
I just think, right now he's averaging 16.9 points. He's shooting 50% from the field. He's shooting 39% from three. He's giving you solid defense. I'm like,
I mean,
just
it's
saying.
just funny because I always get hate and I love it. I mean, that's what comes with doing content, right? But, I'm never going to shy away from just my feelings on the team overall. And that's why I love that the trade deadline's over there. That's why I don't like to sit there and spend so much time on the right now, this second, because if coach, I said this tweet the other day, if coaches and players can sit there and tell us on to the next game, it's a game by game thing. On to the next, forget that one. Then your take should be able to do that as well. So I don't need to sit here and say, oh my God, we need somebody because I'm thinking about already the end of the season when our team is winning. Right now, they're showing us, hey, if we keep doing this, it gives us the chance to really pinpoint. Don't make a splash just to make a splash. And I'm going to say it, I'm going to get hate for it. This front office, as much as we get frustrated, they've been consistent with not doing the stupidest thing to just go out there and get it. So you know what? They hold us accountable by not doing the move, right? Because it's so easy to sit there. Think about it, guys. The last regime, we would have thrown out all kinds of picks. We got all kinds of stuff, but we would have had a player here, and we'd sit here like, oh, shit, here's another season where we don't know if we're making the playoffs.
Yep. True. And shout out to Double A. Shout out to you. Appreciate you being in the chat. Salute you, my brother. He said, Ron, when playoffs begin, size matters. Ask Miami. I understand. But when Miami figured that out? In the NBA Finals versus Denver. So I'm okay with that. We can take one more year to figure it out if we get to the finals and, oh, man, we got smacked by Denver. I'm not going to be happy, but I'm going to be like, oh, that's a step up, guys. We're right there. We're right there. Sometimes you got to let the progression train ride, man. All aboard, choo-choo. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you gotta be in it. So let's see if we can get there. I don't think anybody in this chat, I mean, I know some people will be upset because like, damn, we were right there. Because that's what happened. This past season, we saw Miami make that run and like, oh, that could have been the Knicks. I get it. But if the Knicks make it to the NBA Finals and we get knocked out by a bigger team like Denver, I don't know. I'm not going to be mad. I'm going to be happy we took it to the next level and had a shot. You know what I mean?
Did we make the playoffs the last 2 of 3 years?
I think we did.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying that's way better than the shit we've been dealing with for how many years, guys, right? So again, it's not just the positive Knicks side. No, when there's shit to talk about, I'm going to call it out. You guys know that. It's just we're in a position, guys. We're winning games when RJ's not even there. We had a tough-ass schedule to start the season with the most back-to-backs in the league. And then to be able to sit here today, it's not, oh, you guys just beat the Wizards. Exactly. It's not, we just beat them. No, we beat the team we're supposed to beat. That's what you want to see, okay? That's why the positivity is there for this squad, right? Give us the time. Give them the time to figure it out. And now we can really make a move. It doesn't need to be an epic trade. I mean, we can go hours, Ron, talking about if we would have had Donovan Mitchell, are we any better right now? Like, we can go down that conversation for hours. The last regime would have done it. They would have thrown everything at it, and we'd still be sitting here right now saying, we need another piece or two.
Yeah. That's
On that
true.
note, I got to take my daughter. She's getting her after 9's license today at 2:30. Only my stupid ass sets up the DMV on a Saturday because I'm stupid. Also because my daughter has me wrapped around her finger. So she's
there you go.
But
there
I
you
appreciate
go.
you, Ron, man. I love the support from you guys. Love everything you guys have always been putting out there, man, over the years. Shah, my guy, I try to jump in there with y'all and Divide every time I can, man, in the chat. We'll line it up soon, man. Get on there before the pregame. The chat was dope. I'm going to drop the link for the morning brew in there. For those of you that want to come and talk smack and hate me on my channel, come do it. Feel free. I love it. Just come hate. But those of you that want to come and actually just have a good time, hit me up. Ron, bro, I love you, my guy.
You're already.
Appreciate you, bro. You know how it is, man. Always.
Doses.
Take it easy, man. All right. So let me read these super chats real quick. There it is. Okay. So shout out to Paris Duggett. Thank you once again for the super chat. Appreciate you, my guy. He said the big guys want to win it for a minimum dollar, guys. He's talking about the in-season tournament. So yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's why they're playing. Because this like I said, the money don't matter to the big dollar guys. The smaller dollar guys, that $500,000 is $500,000. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We were all listen. Ron is 46 years old and hasn't played basketball in years. I'll suit up right now. You put me in a chance to get that 500 G's. Hell yeah. Appreciate you, Parrish. Shout out to Double A. Thank you for the generous super chat, my brother. He says, if you add a high-scoring superstar, unless you unload JR, RJ, or JB, it's worthless because they won't get the field goal attempts. Harden trade, big example. That's a good point. That's a good point because that whole thing is a little bit of a cluster over there with the Clippers right now. They're trying to figure it out. They got no choice but to try to figure it out. They already made the move, right?
Yeah.
So I hear you on that, Double A. And I wanted to say there was something that was said. Space Ghost had said something. Shout out to you, Space Ghost, by the way. Good to see you in the chat. Appreciate you as always. He said you would have to give up RJ for OG. I don't think it would take us to the next level. I agree. I wouldn't do that either. I'm talking about if there's a way to get OG without giving up RJ, Brunson, or Randle, right? But and first off, there's no way for us to do it straight up with Toronto because we're dead to them, and it's probably vice versa. But if there was a way to do a three team deal where we could sneak in and get OG somehow, like the other team gives Toronto what they want, and we're able, and it's not like they wouldn't know we're a part of the trade. So I don't know if even that would work because you have to, it's a 3-team trade. They'd know we'd be a part of it. But maybe we could make it so that they couldn't refuse in that way. But I'm not doing it. I'm only doing it if I can keep those 3. I'm not trading because it's not, you don't want to do the whole I'm gonna trade this for this and think this is going to be better, because no, that takes away from what we already got. We're trying to add on to what we got. So no, we've got Fournier, we've got now I forgot his name. Crap, who's the other person I was thinking? Deuce. We have draft picks, and if we had to, maybe there's another trade person we'd have to throw in there, like Grimes, if we had to. But I would definitely just be trying to get rid of the stuff that I can't really use now first. Like I'd rather trade Fournier and Deuce and throw in a bunch of picks. You know what I mean? Because this picks ain't going nowhere. And if I'm saying to myself, I don't need the blockbuster guy, and the other thing is the blockbuster guy may not be coming. You see what's happening with Giannis and Embiid. Like outside of those guys, who do the Knicks fans want? Who's the big guy you want? Because think about it. How many big guys even make sense right now? Do you want LeBron James? No. Do you want Zach LaVine? No. And does Zach LaVine change anything for us? Probably not. And he doesn't even want to be here, so he's out. Do you want Karl Anthony Towns? A lot of people don't. Right? Some people don't even want Embiid. But if Embiid's not going anywhere and Giannis ain't going anywhere, then who's the big guy we're gonna get? That's what I'm looking at. I'm like, after you start naming those names, who's left? You're not getting the Anthony Edwards of the world. Those guys are locked down. They're franchise players for their teams. Like, so who are we going to get, folks? And once you start putting it all together and thinking about that, Shah, you just got to take a look at it. It's different.
I'm noticing a lot of, I'm not saying everybody, but I'm noticing a lot of people are equating superstar with a style of money you're getting paid. You know what I mean? All these name players that you just mentioned are big name players right now that getting big bags right now. You know what I mean? And, either we can't use them, we're going to have to give up too much to get them, or they're not eligible to be traded. I mean, they're not eligible. I mean, everybody could be traded, but no one's looking to trade them. Like you said, they're like franchise style players. So what do the Knicks have to do? We just have to look at those little pieces that we need now. After this year is going to be a bigger picture to see where we need to be. Is Dante DiVincenzo really going to fill in great? Is Josh Hart still going to fill in great? Those are the guys that we can't trade now that are probably going to be up on the block by next year. The iHard, he's going to be looking for a contract next year. So these are the guys that we're going to have to look for. So what we do this year is we build our stock up, and it's all about matchups. I mean, we can get to the finals. It just depends on what's the matchup. And I mean, we fare better against certain teams. And I mean, we have better outcomes against certain teams. So it all depends on what comes down to the semifinals and the playoffs, the semifinals and the finals. That's all it comes down to now. With the players that we got, we have a good team, man. This team is legit, man. We got 3 starters on our team that could score almost 24 points a game. We got some guys that could light it up at any given night. We got guys that can play stellar defense, and this team rebounds the basketball. If they're not in the top 5 of rebounding basketball, if they must be like number 1 or 2. They're great rebounding the basketball. And at the beginning of the year, everyone was talking about, oh, this team is too little, this team is too short. These guys play hard defense, hard-nosed defense, go through screens, go around screens, contest shots, and they rebound the basketball. You know, what else can you? The only thing else that we could ask for if Josh Hart was 6'10".
My bad. I put myself on mute.
Okay, I was wondering. I thought I bugged
yeah.
out.
I'm talking. I'm like, nah. What's up, Double A?
Sorry, I can't hear you. Let me try again, Ronnie.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on with this.
Well, you know what? If you
Here we go.
Oh, you got it? Okay, cool. All right.
Salute, my brothers.
Appreciate you, bro. Man? I'm good, man. Listen, I was just about to comment on what you said too about Cam Reddish. Yeah, I mean, all I was gonna say to you with the Cam Reddish thing is don't get caught up in Cam, because Cam will break your heart, man. What's going on with LA over there is they have invested in some players, right? Because off of the strength of what they did last year. It's kind of like what the Knicks did a couple years back when we gave money to Nerlens Noel and to Rose and to, I forgot who the other person was, to show support and show love for what they've done for us, which is cool. And the Lakers have done the same thing, and they've got off to a start where some of these other guys haven't been having the best start to the year. Even Austin Reeves, it looks great, but he hasn't had the greatest start to the season, right? And then you got the other players on the court, the Hachimuras, and it's been a little iffy, right? And so LeBron said, we got Cam Reddish here, and he knows Cam has tremendous amounts of talent, so he's trying to work. So it's like I don't want to say that Cam won't turn it around and won't do something in LA, but if he does it, it'll be because the system is really right for him there, and because LeBron James does his best to cultivate him and get him to that next level, to build up his inner confidence and get him to that level. Because the thing about Cam, it's always been the same 2 things that I say all the time. It's confidence and it's health. Nothing else matters with him. He's got all the talent in the world. He can do everything out there in that basketball court. But when he was with the Knicks, his confidence was lacking at some points. Then he all of a sudden, something changed over there. And I don't know if it's Tom Thibodeau or what, or if it's Cam. But remember, at one point, Cam was our guy because we didn't have anything else. He was one of our best defenders at a point. They were running offenses through Cam for a little bit, and he was playing well for us. Then something happened, and I don't know if that's practice or work ethic that Tibbs started to see that Cam was lacking a little bit. And then I think Cam started to talk. We didn't hear about that. We found out later. And then after Cam started to talk, he got a little boisterous and talked a little bit more at a certain time. And then we found out that he might have asked for a trade or something. And then he had that game against Dallas. And that game against Dallas was the fork. I put the fork in him. It was over after that game because that game was horrible. He did not look good. He was taking wild shots. His defensive effort was horrible. And that was like the writing on the wall for Cam. It's never been the same since. But like I said, I don't want to, say that you're wrong, Double A. I'm just saying that I think the Knicks gave him as good of a chance as he could have here, because with Cam, it's always confidence, and health. There was a point where Cam was balling for a little bit. He got hurt, then he came back, and then it's like whatever he was doing before, he wasn't doing it again. He had to get back to that level. So that's always the thing with Cam, and it sucks, but that's been his road in this league. This is his 5th year. So that's it. That's all I had to say about that.
Well, I agree with you 100% on that. A lot of the points you made, but the point I'm trying to make is we got to stop devaluating our players.
I got you on that. Yeah,
Tibbs has no use for Cam. Fine, but Cam was balling, man. There's no reason why we had to attach a number 1 pick to Cam Reddish to get Josh Hart. Everybody knows Josh Hart.
Not to cut you off that way. Not to cut you off, but it had to be. You want to know why? Because we the Knicks. Everything is more expensive when you're in New York, man. You got to pay. You got to pay. You got to pay to get rid of players,
but
man.
I'm saying, you know what I mean? We gave up Kevin Knox, which was a 8th pick in the draft, plus a number 1 to get Cam Reddish. Then we got to turn around and add another number 1 to get rid of Cam Reddish. And these are things that I'm saying we got to get away from that. And as far as confidence, this is the one that I got against Tom Thibodeau. He does not install confidence in his young players. Emmanuel Quickley, that's in you can tell that's inbred confidence that man has. You know what I mean? But these other guys, I mean, what does it say if your coach, all right, we're down injury players and your coach won't even put you in for 5-10 minutes? That's saying, you know, I got no confidence in you, man. I just, you know, you're just not going to do it, you know. And these are just the things that I'm saying, man. I'm very happy where we are as a franchise right now, but we got to realize that, man, you know, Brunson, RJ, that trio, that's not going to be gone forever, man. And it's going to come a point in time where Jalen Brunson is going to have to get paid. Julius Randle is going to have to get paid, and we're going to have to start making decisions on what our roster is going to be. You know, who are we going to ride with? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. No, that's facts. That's 100%. I agree with you.
The other day, like, I got a little bit of flack because, I mean, I don't know why, because basically anybody that knows basketball and looks at our team knows that we need a wing, and we've been needing a wing for years. We've needed the defensive wing. And I got hit because they said, well, nobody can guard Jason Tatum. Who are we going to get to guard? That's not the point, man. You got somebody that can at least match up defensively with him, at least if you can hold him to his average. Okay, Jason Tatum averages 30 points a game. That game he had, what, 38, 40?
Yeah,
So
something
you
around
got
there.
somebody that can at least hold him to average or at least stop him on key moments. You need that. You can't just say, well, you know, who's going to stop him? And can nobody stop? Everybody can be stopped. You know, NBA superstars, you know, they're going to get their score. They're going to get their points, especially a super duper part. But the point is not to let them go off, you know, not to let them change the tone of the game and take over like Tatum did. Tatum basically took over that Celtic game, you know, and you can't blame Hart for that. I mean, he's 6'4", and we spoke about that before, Ron. You know, you 6'4", man, you can do so much, especially somebody talented as Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he can kill you from the inside. He can kill you from outside. As a short player, when you're playing somebody taller than you, you play basketball, man. Your only defense is to give him that outside shot and hope he can't nail it. You know, but you can't take him inside and bang with him and try to stop him. You know, it's just overpowering or whatever. But I think that we're on the right path, man. As my man mentioned, and I'm sorry, brother, I didn't get your name. I came in late to the party.
Oh, it's Sha Money.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to meet you, brother.
Yes, sir. Triple-double-A.
Nice to meet you. But you made it a point, man, that, you know, have you noticed, Ron, that ever since we've gotten these Villanova guys, that it's kind of rubbing off? I mean, I even see Julius hustling.
Mm-hmm.
It's rubbing off, man. You can see it, you know, and it's just a matter that you don't want to look bad. You know, I guess, you know, if these guys are diving on the floor and running all, you know, you don't want to look bad. You don't want to be showed up because you stand out like a sore thumb now, you know. But I think Dante and Hart and Brunson, I mean, they are having a positive effect on this New York team.
I agree with that. Yeah, I definitely think that's the case. I knew that was going to happen. because it's like I said before, it's not about the fact that these guys are from Villanova. I mean, maybe it is because that's the type of culture they instill over there for those young players, but it's the fact of how they play the game, and just they're bringing something to this Knicks team that the Knicks didn't have. We got young players that are learning how to be this, but when you can bring guys over here that already are this, and they can help the young guys understand, like, this is what you need to kind of take your game to the next level and help your team so that your team can play at the next level. This is really important. And I think it's definitely a big difference. I talked about it yesterday a bunch, that, it's watching the Knicks win these games is not that. And what's impressive to me is they should win these games. It's how they're winning these games, how they take care of San Antonio, how they take care of Washington last night. Like the San Antonio game to me was super impressive. I know other people were like, oh, this is a dud. San Antonio is not doing anything. To watch the Knicks control that game and jump out to a big lead and basically hold that lead for 3 quarters, go into like the end of the third, into the fourth, and San Antonio made their run. And then by the end of the game, the Knicks get back and are winning by 17. That's impressive to me. That shows that this team is different. They know how to take their foot, put it on the gas, and go. They'll withstand the other team's best run and get right back to where they were. This is something that I mentioned last year. Up until, Brunson obviously plays a part in that, but up until we traded for Josh Hart, the Knicks did something different. They didn't have that thing in the fourth quarter where we started to get that killer thing where we started to finish these games off. You guys remember, we're only 1 year removed from having 6 20-point leads and losing the game in 4 quarters. Yeah. So it's not that long ago. And this is the same, most of the same guys here. So there's a difference, man. There's a difference.
Yeah, you made a big point, because we were doing that. All those leads that we were blowing. We jump out the 20-point lead, then we take our foot off the gas, and next thing you know, boom, you can't get it back. So that's really impressive. What you're saying is, they're handling the business. Business.
Very nice to see. Let me just do a quick shout out to a bunch of people in the chat. I know people have probably come and gone, but I thank you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Shout out to Giancarlo De Lara. Thank you for being here and rocking. Thank you for subscribing to the show. Please hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Like I said, guys, if you're coming in, hit that like button. If you got to go, please hit that like button, because YouTube be on our backs, and that helps us out here. Shout out to NYC BBall 08 in the building. Was good. He said, what's up, guys? Sup, Sha? Appreciate you. Salute to my guy Keyshawn in the building. Was good. J-Tap in the building. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Andrew Gutierrez, where you been? It's good to see you, Andrew. A couple more I think I wanted to shout out. We already shouted out Ice Mike. Good to see you. Let me see. Johnny Davis down in there. Yep. Okay. Ricardo's in the Ricardo, where you been, man? Good to see you, bro. Hope you're doing well. He said we need a 6'8", 6'10" knockdown 3-point shooter like a Grayson Allen or a Bobby Portis type. Maybe. I just like if we can. And let me tell you another thing, guys. I just went on the whole rant about who is there to get as a superstar, right? Who is there to get? That's that 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" defensive wing guy that can shoot, that another team is willing to part with.
Exactly.
It's not about do they exist? Yes, they're not leprechauns. They're out there. But what team is giving them up? Because these guys are valuable and people around the league see it. So I think we need it, but how can we get one? Go ahead, Sha.
And the emphasis on giving them up to the Knicks. Who wants to give the Knicks anything, man? Everything that we have gotten has either been from trade. From the draft right now, IQ, Quinton Grimes, Mitchell Robinson, and from trade, i.e. Brunson. We don't. Oh,
you mean free agency, because we signed them.
People don't trade with us that often. People don't do business with the Knicks that often because they don't want to make the Knicks greater.
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of things that we're doing, every trade that was talked about in this offseason, the Knicks was about every trade. They was looking at, the Dante. They was looking for all these guys. They was looking for all these guys that they had out there. And every trade that was out there, the Zions, all these names out there and all this stuff, and we were in everything, but they had a price, and they wasn't going over that price. They wasn't doing the same thing that we were doing 8-10 years ago when we had less than mine front office guys. I won't say no names, but guys that would give up the whole farm. We get one player in here, and we can't get a team to go around this one player that we got.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you ain't lying. That is true. That's something that you got to deal with. For whatever reason, New York gets that different treatment. Like people don't want to see New York really flourish and get back on the map because back in the day, New York did have a really good team that was controlling the East for a minute. I mean, yeah, we always had the fight with Indiana and the Bulls, but the Knicks did their thing and people knew it. Like that's what made the market so exciting.
Here's another twist, Ron.
Mm-hmm.
Why, instead of trying to trade our picks, our number one picks, right, and trying to land a superstar, and like you said, it doesn't look like that team, the person that we need, any team is willing to give that person up. It has to be a team that has excess. You know what I mean? I think we've blown a couple of opportunities, over the last couple of seasons, like Sadiq Bey. We could have added him. I think that would have fit the profile of the type of player, we need for small forward. Sadiq Bey, we passed that out. But what I'm saying, instead of like looking to, group up our number one picks and acquire the player, why don't we try to group up our number one picks and try to trade up in the draft and draft that player we need. That's going to be very important in the next couple of seasons, especially with the salary cap and everything changing. We're going to have to really, really, really concentrate on development and developing, young players. We're looking at RJ and Quick and these guys as young players, but hey, man, these guys have been in the league 4 or 5 years now. They can't really be classified as, really young guys. And, we haven't really drafted anybody in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. You got to use all these avenues that are available to us. And the biggest thing that we have failed at over the years, and I think you'd agree with me, Ron, is our drafting. We haven't done really well on our drafting. I mean, RJ was pretty much a given. It was Zion, Morant, and RJ. I mean, that was a given. But as far as our other, picks since, we blew a lot of chances. Hey, man, the perfect defender, he was there. The guy, the perfect prototype of the guy that we need on this team, we'd love on this team, is Bridges. And we let him pass by. That's what I'm saying. We got to seize those opportunities, and we can't rule out how important the draft is. And the draft organization. Some of the best ball players we've had on the Knicks, we've gotten when we've drafted, right? Mark Jackson, these guys, Kristoff, nobody thought that we'd pick Kristoff, but I mean, we fooled everybody, picked him. But I'm saying we got to go back to utilizing the draft. If nobody wants to trade with us, fine, but we can utilize our assets, our draft picks to either move up and get, a higher pick or, hey, do our scouting, man, and draft that player, start filling those needs, start filling the bench with players that are going to, fit our team. Right now we got a couple of players on the team that really, they don't contribute anything, but they're taking up roster spots, but we got to start using the draft and start being more successful in the draft and using it, that way we're not counting on other teams. And my man was 100% right. When they were talking about Embiid, man, I didn't feel we had a chance in the world to get Embiid because Philly would be crazy to trade him to New York unless they're going for a total rebuild, No,
I mean, you're right. I mean, that's the thing. It's tough. Like I said, once again, I'm going to go back to it. The Knicks understand what's going on with the market. They see what's out there. They make their little runs at, okay, let's put in a flyer on this person, see if he's available, or this person's available. Let's see what's his interest. Can we get him? Is it a mutual thing? And sometimes it doesn't matter if it's a mutual thing if we know that we can deal with the organization. But a lot of times, man, we want players to come to help this Knicks team, but it's just how's the road going to happen? How are we going to get that guy? It's just
Right.
there's so many different factors. Like Philadelphia, like and that's the other thing. That's another thing. I don't think the Knicks will ever be able to get somebody like Joel Embiid from Philadelphia. We already talked about Harden and how he feels about Daryl Morey and what he's got going. Daryl Morey is not necessarily trying to rock with the Knicks and give the Knicks anything in the same, division and all this stuff. Like, he's a certain type of way. And then he's already, apparently, if it's true, he wasn't impressed with the package that the Knicks threw out there before. And that was a pretty damn good package. And we didn't even say we're going to give you all of this. We said we can give you 2 out of the 3. And he wasn't impressed with any of that. So I'm like, you got to move on from it sometimes and just say that ain't going to work. Now, to let me do this, and then I'll get to Double A's point, because I've been thinking about this, and I want to shout out Organic Fanatics in the chat because we're thinking the same thing. First off, shout out to C God. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here, C God. Definitely salute to you. JJP NYC in the building. The OG Bridge is incinerated. I know, man. I know. Shout out to member of SKF himself, Deron Wayne. What's good, Deron? Hope you're doing well, my brother. Good to see you as always. Knicks Nation 112, where the players dwell. J Hart helps us win games, but we are limited with or without J Hart. True. And I also want to give a big shout out. Snuck that one in there. I had to go look for that. Anna Powers in the building. Salute. Appreciate you, Anna. Thank you. Yeah. This man of yours, man, he's dope. I appreciate him.
That's wifey right there.
Man.
She must have seen me on she must be at work on YouTube or something.
Yeah, that's fine. See, that's fire. That means we popping up. We out
That's
there.
it.
Guys,
Yeah,
keep
you
smashing
out
that
there.
like
That's
button.
That's right.
Yeah, we had 75 likes. We got 95 watching. Please smash that like button if you haven't already done so. Don't worry, I'll stop the show. I'll wait. Okay, I'm not going to really stop the show. I'm back. All right, so I appreciate you guys. But so to Double A's point, I'm with you, Double A. I think a lot of Knicks fans agree with you. There's only one problem, and this is a big problem. Shout out to Gideon Amanqua. G Money's in the building. I see you. So there's what we see on the court, just basketball, right? And then there's the politics, and then there's the other stuff that's happening with basketball, and then there's the timelines. Problem is, should the Knicks use these draft picks and go out there and get somebody that might fit the need that we're looking for? Yeah, and that would probably be the best way to do it. The problem is, when you play for Tom Thibodeau, one, you're going to sit on the shelf for a year. Can the Knicks afford to go out there, use that draft pick, get a player that's going to sit on the shelf for a year and not really contribute? Because in Tom Thibodeau's system, he has never let anyone really contribute in that first year. Quickley probably is one of the few that got the most minutes, but still, he was still working on his development. And that first year, Quickley wasn't even really a good defender. Like, he became a better defender as time went on, right? So that's one. Two, this Knick window, and that's the thing in basketball anyway, with regards, like, the Knick window is closing. And I don't mean like it won't be another window, but this window is closing, and this affects everything. Because what happens is, you go out after this offseason, you take your draft pick, you go get a good player. Maybe you find that 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" wing who can play D, and he's a three-point shooter. But he's going to come into Tom Thibodeau's offense, and Tom Thibodeau's still going to do what Tom Thibodeau does. He's going to make sure that you understand exactly what he wants out there from you, and that you fit the system, you fit the schemes, you do exactly what he wants, and you're where he wants you to be. And if that's not happening right away, then that person's going to sit, right? So now that person's sitting, and what happens is we're another year forward. And guess what? At this point, we're a year closer to Jalen Brunson opting out and getting his money. We're a year closer to Julius Randle opting out and getting his money. And we don't know if we're going to be able to keep both of these guys. Can we? Yes. Do the Knicks want to? Don't know. Right? Then you got to know next year, Grimes is going to be due for his money. He can be due for his money. We still got to figure out if we're paying Quickley. When it comes to these sports teams, it's never about the talent and whether you can figure out who you need to keep and what works. It's always about the money. Because when these young players get older and you have to start giving up that ching-ching, this is when you run into the problem. So it's not about, I agree with you, Double A. That's the way to do it. It's just the window is at a point now where the Knicks really only have 2 years where they can do something, this year and next year. After that, they can still do something, but now they have to go all in and say, okay, I'm giving Julius the bag. I'm giving Jalen the bag. Like now we could do it with house money. It's like they already paid him. They know what they're paying him. We can still do some things. But once we get into that money, that's it. We're done. Then after that, you can't make any more moves because you already tied up all the money. So that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm trying to get at. Like the window is real short now, and to wait for a rookie to come along to help us under Tom Thibodeau, it's a rough proposition.
That's what gets us all the time. We get these spurts where, okay, now all of a sudden we're making the playoffs and we're making a little noise, and then all of a sudden we're mortgaging, everything to get that 1 or 2 extra win or whatever, to see if we can go a little bit further, whatever. We never do that ground, that development, man. It's a known fact that every NBA champion that there ever was, except the Miami Heat, were homegrown, had homegrown cores. At least 3 of the players in their starting 5 were homegrown players that were drafted and developed. You know what I'm saying? And that's the one big thing I got against Tibbs. You got this win now attitude, man, but you got to realize there's a future. There's games and years to be played, after this season, after next season. We got to lay down that foundation, and Tom Thibodeau, he has that old school way of thinking where you got to come in and earn. Man, these ball players are coming in ready to play. It ain't the same as his day or whatever, where a guy got to come in. Okay, now you got to apprentice for 2-3 years before, Derrick Rose should have proved that to him. If a player is a baller, he's ready to ball, man. The players are ready to ball, and to make a person sit because they're a rookie, that's detrimental to the team. You know what I mean? That's holding the guy back. There's plenty of players that are coming out the draft, man. They ready to rock and roll. They're ready to ball, and unfortunately, that's one thing, the trade-off, everybody's loving Tibbs now because we're winning, whatever. But, you got to look at, what we're sacrificing. What's the trade-off to having a win now coach? What is the trade-off? The trade-off is your youth is going to suffer, unless you got a standout player, a guy with that self, confidence like Quickley. And I mean, look at Grimes, man. Sometimes he looks like a deer in headlights, but it's your character. It has nothing to do with your age. It has nothing to do with your experience. It's your character. Some people are just ready. Some people are ready to rock and roll. Now, would you have made that DeRozan trade?
What DeRozan trade? Which
they were talking about the possibility of the Knicks trading for DeMar DeRozan, and one of the things I was saying is why. I mean, what we need is 3-point shooting, and DeMar DeRozan doesn't give us 3-point shooting. I mean, he's an excellent. Nobody can argue that, his shots from the foul line in. I mean, the guy is great, but that's not what we need. We need 3-point shooting. So why would we give up assets to get DeRozan when we got 2 guys pretty capable on our team to fill what we need in Quickley and Dante?
Well, so here's the thing, and I'm with you. See that, and that's the thing that we have to do, especially with this Knicks team, because the goalpost and everything is forever changing and forever moving. Like things just keep happening for this team, and we just kind of gotta watch it, because I don't know, it's a weird thing going on right now, but just different things keep happening with this team, and we got to pay attention because it changes what we think. Right? Before the season started, I would say the same thing. Like, we need more 3-point shooting. How can we go get this? What can really help the team? But we got to look at how the team is playing. I mean, I know it's still early, but right now the New York Knicks are shooting like 46% from 3 as a team. That's crazy. Like the average is around 35, 36, and we're at 46. That's nuts. So do we need 3-point shooting? Maybe we will. Maybe this is going to calm down and, we're going to come back down to earth. But for right now, the 3-point shooting is going.
I agree. But what I'm saying is I wouldn't trade any assets and all that for DeRozan because he does not check the blanks for us.
Well, hold on. Here's the thing, AA. 3-point shooting, he's not the answer there, right? Defense, He's an adequate defender, but he gets caught in the malaise these days. He's older, his feet are a little slower. This is what happens. Like now, this is warranted because the guy's been in the league for a long time. So he doesn't necessarily improve us on that end. Is he a liability on defense? I don't think he's a liability, but can he have moments where you're like, yeah, a little iffy? Yeah. But let's not forget what DeRozan is best at. And that's the only reason why I might consider it is the dude is a knockdown 2-point shooter. Like that mid-range is incredible. It's not as incredible as has been years past, but it's still very high. And let me see if let me pull up DeRozan stuff to see what it's looking like. Because I don't follow the Bulls. I ain't gonna lie and say I know exactly what they're doing out there. But let me see what DeRozan's numbers are looking like, so that way we can really, do a nice little analysis of this, if this makes sense. So currently, DeMar DeRozan is averaging 21.3 points per game, 3.1 rebounds, 4.3 assists on 44% shooting from the field. And 44% shooting from the field is pretty much around, mid average of a guard player. Like that's actually pretty good for a guard player, right? So has he been a lot higher? Yes. And that's why I'm saying so. Like it's a little bit concerning because you're like, is he starting to really lose a step? Maybe. He's still averaging 21 points per game, and then he's shooting 82% from the free throw line. And he's shooting 34% from three. Oh, and I think I'm hearing like a little bit of feedback. I don't know if you're not speaking right now, if you could just mute, maybe that'll kind of kill it. Yeah, okay. Now I don't hear it. So yeah, he's shooting, even though he's not a good 3-point shooter, he's shooting 34% from three right now. Like I said, league average is around 35, 36. 34 is right under league average. So it's not like he's a liability. He doesn't take too many shots. He takes maybe 2 or 3 a game, but it could be worse. So the only question I have is, can he still knock it down when you need a big shot from 2? Because that's the difference that I'm looking at AA. When we get into those tight games in the fourth quarter, you know how demoralizing it used to be when we'd have to play the Brooklyn Nets and they had Kevin Durant. And at the end of the game, when they start giving the ball to Kevin Durant, the Knicks can't stop that mid-range shot. And he's just going to keep piling on. It's something about being able to have that guy. And that's the reason why I think I love Jalen Brunson being here so much, because Jalen Brunson is very clutch, hitting those 2s and at the end of games when we need big shots, or even now he's hitting 3s. Right. But what if we had another guy like that? It doesn't have to be DeRozan. I'm just saying, like a DeRozan, where you need a big basket, give it to him and he'll get that too. You know what I mean? There's like nothing you can really do about it. He's almost unstoppable. When he gets going, them 2s start raining, and those are the differences in games sometimes. So I'm saying, like, from that aspect of it, I could see him being a real big help for the team. But I just don't know if he's lost the step, because shooting 44% when the last 2 years he shot 50% from the field. That's how automatic he was. I don't know, but I would consider it. But I'm not. It's not my highest priority. I'm not in love with it, but I would consider it. So that's the only thoughts I'm thinking. AA. It's just about having that guy that you can go to for a basket when you need one in the clutch, because that's the difference from the regular season and the playoffs. In the playoffs, when it comes down to the crunch moments, you need guys who can put the ball in the hoop, no matter what the defense is showing you. You need those guys who can get to their spot, get their shot up, and go. And we don't necessarily have a lot of that here. Maybe RJ is learning how to be that. I'm not going to give him that credit yet. Jalen has that. Sometimes it's not always there, but he's the best one on the team to me right now with that. Julius, I am definitely not going to give that to Julius yet. Can he get it? Maybe. He hasn't shown it yet, like in the playoffs, that in clutch moments, I'm the guy, I'm going to knock it down. So I think that's fair. We could all say that he hasn't shown that yet. So we'll see. But if we can get a guy like that, I think that's big. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Shah, do you think that there's a guy out there that exists that we can get that maybe is not too much money, that you like his game?
I mean, there's some, there's a whole bunch of players out there that can, can fit in with the money wise, but it's how they're going to have to work into the Tom Thibodeau system. I think Tom Thibodeau has done since he's been here, has done a great job with bringing up our youth. He's played IQ, he's played Grimes, Deuce plays sporadically. Sims started games when Mitch was out. So Tom Thibodeau, since he has been here, aside from Brunson and Randle and RJ, he's been trying to play some of the younger in the 9-man rotation. It's pretty much all the guys that he got, aside from Deuce, all the guys that they drafted. I think the best option for them is the window, like everyone is talking about. I see the window a little different. I think this team right here, we will probably have this team for the next 2 years to get closer to the contracts of Randle and Brunson and RJ. All of them almost expire right around the same time. And I think that if we were looking to make to still try to develop, maybe we would look to try to draft a little higher than we have in the last couple of years, because the way that the Knicks is going to get that player that we all talk about, this 6'8" guy that can probably play some defense and shoot the basketball, is more than likely going to be in the trade because of money. Money right now is what's going to keep the Knicks from probably not trying to go into that apron. And I mean, and there's some guys out there though. They got that guy Brondon that they're talking about. Well, how are we going to get Brondon? Who are we going to offer the Pistons to get Brondon? This guy's a knockdown 3-point shooter. He can play some defense. He's a bigger guy, but he's not. He's still he's more like a small forward. And what position is he going to play? Are we going to move RJ back down to the 2, move Brondon to the 3, and get rid of Grimes? I don't know. And if we're looking for the guy that we're looking for right now is, like I said, after this year, we're going to have a bigger window to see what we have, what we don't have, what's tradable, what's not tradable, who we want to move to bring in these guys. I think this team is going to last the duration of this year. I don't think there's going to be too many mix-ups or mix-halves up with this team that we have right now. I think that as soon as this season is over, I think that's when they're going to start trying to matriculate who they want, or maybe what deals they can get. I don't know if they're going to look for a DeRozan. I don't know if they're going to look for a Levine. If they look for anybody, I don't think they're going to go for an older player like a Brogdon that's 34, 35 years old, or like the DeRozan. I don't think they're going to go for a Paul George, anything that's at the last end of his, or the older end of his basketball career. So, you're not going to get none of these young studs that we would like to see here right now, because you will have to trade for them, or no one wants to trade with the Knicks. So the best bet is to take this team right here, build their stock up, build Grimes' stock up, build IQ stock up, build these guys stock up, and hopefully that we could put them in a trade if we want to get somebody that's younger, that fits the scheme that we're in right now, and proceed forward. But I think this team is going to be together. Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, and Brunson. I think they're going to be here for the next 3 years or so until their contracts get closer to their contract end. So we got that window we're looking for is to get in the draft maybe this year, so we could get someone, top 20 or something like that. That's a 6'9" guy that's in one of these smaller name colleges. These front office guys do great jobs, man. They pick Mitchell Robinson. They didn't pick IQ. They didn't pick Grimes. They know how to pick these players that they're looking for that kind of fits the scheme. So I think that's more of the way that they go, because a big name player, a big price player that's supposedly you call the superstars, that any one of those players lessening the messing up the foundation that we have is going to disrupt this team, I believe. And we get a Embiid. Who we going to give up for Embiid? We're going to give up Mitchell Robinson and either RJ or Randle. Now we take it away too, even though he can compensate for those scoring from Randle and stuff, but he's only one player. We're losing three or four players plus 3 or 4 first-round picks. I don't know. I think the way we go is the draft, and because they're doing good from the draft. All the players that I just mentioned from the draft that the Knicks have acquired since the Don, I can't remember his name, so I'm gonna call him the Don. Leon Rose, since he came into the league, we've been pretty fortunate with what they have picked up. You know what I mean? We've got some good picks, and they made some good signings in the offseason. So I think that's the way we're going to go. I don't think there's no real big name players that's out there right now in the next year or two, unless we go for a trade and we're looking to give up all our players. Because, you know, once they talk about the Knicks, every team that you talk about your jury, you talk about Danny Ainge, everybody wants to fleece the Knicks. Everybody wants the most from the Knicks. And I don't think Leon Rose is giving up the most for anybody out there, that, especially if you don't think that he's worth it.
Right. Well, you heard the story, right?
Yeah.
The reason why the Knicks decided after our season ended that year, they decided to take the whole front office plus Julius Randle to the playoff game to watch Mitchell and Brunson play. That pissed Mark Cuban off, and he said he wouldn't do any trade with the Knicks, and that pissed Danny Ainge off. And, you know, there was word around it, rumors around it. Danny Ainge said he wasn't going to trade the Knicks Mitchell out of spite. He was just going to keep raising the price up until nothing, because I don't see what they got from Cleveland as being more or better than what we supposedly offered.
Right.
It's just the fact he didn't want to trade Mitchell to the Knicks. Now here's my thing, and I ask you this, Ron. If next year or in the offseason Cleveland decides, well, you know what, Mitchell is not going to stay with us, we got to get what we can get from him. Do you go after him? And nullify the risk of him going to Brooklyn?
No, yeah, I'd still go after Donovan Mitchell, but I'm not. So the more time that goes by, these young players on this Knicks team are still continuing to improve, right? And so it changes my offer for Donovan Mitchell. I will tell you that. We'll see what Donovan Mitchell looks like. We'll see how the Cleveland Cavaliers fare this year, because if the Cleveland Cavaliers, we don't know what's happening with them. What if they don't do anything this year? What if they have a decent regular season, but they don't make a run the way we would think they would, because their team is built to win too. And what if they don't make a run? What if Donovan doesn't really – he's got some weapons over there. They've got three-point shooting now. They've got defense. They've got bigs. They've got other scorers and Garland and Mobley. They've got some stuff that they can work with. And like I said, they've added really good three-point shooting. If they can't get to the playoffs, or they don't look like they've been able to make a nice run, you got to look at it like, I don't know, man. Is Donovan worth giving up what the asking price is? So I might still try to go after him, but I may not want to give up too much. And then I'm like, look, let him go. Let him go. If we give up, we throw out a trade opportunity for him and they don't like it, whatever. Let's trade him somewhere else. If he doesn't sign with them, we'll see him in free agency, and at that point, we'll discuss his value and give him money if we got it. I'm not going to go crazy for Donovan, because I like Donovan. I think he's a A+ type scorer, but that's what he is. He's an A+ type scorer.
I'm not giving up Donovan for what we were giving up before.
No. That's why I said already the trade is different. The trade is different.
It's already yesterday's money is not today's money.
No, it's not. So yeah.
And the point that I made before in the super chat was, you know, if you add a so-called superstar to this team, you just can't add them to Brunson, Randle, and RJ. It just doesn't make sense, and it ain't gonna work, because these guys are high, usage guys. And if you got somebody scoring 30 points a game, he ain't gonna come to Knicks and score 30 points a game, because he ain't gonna have the shots to score 30 points a game.
Yep, 100%. Thank you, King Ribby. Like what he said right there. Hit them like, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. Still, Knicks fans, we back again, baby. Yes, let's go. Smash that like button, baby. We at 86 likes. We got 98 people in here watching, supporting the show. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna say that was the other thing that I had that up for. The DeMar DeRozan thing. You guys are right. DeMar's defense is not the way it used to be. His offense is even lacking a little bit. What I was going to say is, let's not forget, the Bulls are a sinking ship, folks. I mean, how into it do you think a player is going to be of his magnitude over there on the sinking ship? Maybe he's just not involved in everything the way he wants to, because he's not excited about what he's a part of. Get him out of there, bring him to the Knicks, and maybe you start to see another. Remember, we already talked about it earlier. The addition of Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo, that Villanova connection. Some of these guys are playing with a lot more physicality, a lot more heart. They're hustling more. Maybe DeRozan comes over here. He buys into that too. Like he starts to give a little bit more effort because he knows now I have a chance over here. You know, I'm just saying, you just never know what change of scenery will bring out of a player. Oh, and if you can mute again, I appreciate that. That background stuff is happening. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Shout out to Jet Life for Life. Salute. White Falcon in the building was good. And shout out to Bobby Santiago. Bobby, I don't know if I've seen you in the chat recently. If you're new, I appreciate it. If you've been here before, thank you for returning. He said we should wait a couple years and pick up Donovan Mitchell and Mikal Bridges. They will be free agents and then evaluate our team without changing the chemistry of the team. I mean, we might be able to do both. Really, I mean, if we don't make a blockbuster trade and do like in a swap that's more realistic, you know, Fournier and Deuce or something and a pick or something for somebody that we could bring in that complements what we got going on right now, we'll still be in a position that when Donovan Mitchell is a free agent, he might be in play. That when Mikal Bridges is a free agent, he might be in play. So yeah, that could still happen, Bobby. So I wouldn't rule it out. And the Knicks, I think, once again, don't forget who our president of basketball operations is. Leon Rose is very risk adverse. Okay, he hasn't done anything risky yet. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does try to do something smaller and not go crazy. That's the reason why they said they've shown interest in Bojan Bogdanovic. And speaking of Bojan. Let's see, where is Bojan? So Bojan's he's a 2-year contract, right? And the second year is part guaranteed. Right now he's making $20 million for the season. Next year he'll be making $19 million. And then he's a free agent. So it's not that bad. The money is not that bad for what he does. And you guys might say, well, what does he do? I'll tell you what he does. Currently, he is at where did I have it? Here we go. He is currently at 21.6 points per game, 3.8 rebounds, 2.6 assists. He's shooting 48.8% from the field. He's shooting 41% from three. I know he's up there in age, but if you're telling me that I could bring in Bojan, who has another year after this on his contract, and Detroit may be willing to get rid of him and take back Evan Fournier, who's on an expiring contract, who opens up the money so they can start doing something in this offseason.
Salary matches.
I'm thinking about it, folks. I might do this one.
Salary matches.
Yeah, yes, sir. So this might be a good move for the Knicks, because a guy who can shoot it like that, he's 6'7", same height as Fournier, but he's a different 6'7", because he's got more versatility to his offensive game. He's not just shoot a three. He can put it on the floor, get to the rim here and there. But more importantly, that mid-range is butter for Bojan. So I might do that trade. And the Knicks already have a good relationship with Detroit. Looks like they're our best friends. So if they could pull that off, I'm with it. And I would rock out with that for the rest. I'll be honest with you. I'd rock out with that for the rest of the season and see where we go. You know what I mean? And then in the off season, we can figure it out, what we're going to do with IQ and all that good stuff, and what money we have, if we have any. But that's probably a trade I would make, because like I said, the Knicks still are top 5 in defense. They are a decent offensive team. Bojan will make us that much better. So the issues that we have sometimes with Grimes maybe not being aggressive, taking that shot, Bojan's very aggressive. He never made a shot he don't like, but as you can see, he knocks it down at an efficient clip. We can live with that, folks. Just saying. So I just want to throw that out there. That is a possibility I would definitely consider. The other thing I wanted to bring up for you guys, because I know we were talking about it earlier. So here's the injury report for the Knicks. Look at this, guys. Evan Fournier played last night, and he's day-to-day. Fournier is listed as questionable for Saturday's game versus the Hornets due to right ankle inflammation. So that's what happens when you don't play sometimes too. Like you're not out there, you're not warm, you're not moving around. You get out there, you put some pressure on your limbs, and stuff like that can happen. Quinton Grimes is listed as day-to-day. So he's questionable for Saturday's game, which is a good sign. So he's not that bad. They put him in that soft cast, like you said, that soft wrist cast. I don't think he's going to play for the next 2 or 3 games, maybe, but that's good news. And RJ Barrett is listed as out. So he may not play for today's game either. Once again, guys, the other thing I wanted to say, if you haven't suffered from migraines or if you have had a migraine before, the other thing about migraines, when you get a really bad one that lingers, your head feels like it almost feels like tender. Like if you ever got a headache before, you know that feeling when you first feel that, oh, I'm going to get a headache. So imagine having a really bad headache for a lot of time. You got to shut everything off, close the lights. Everything's got to be quiet. You want to cover your face with a pillow and just stay there in darkness, and it just won't go away. You're taking medication and pills, and it's just still pounding, right? Once that goes away and it starts to calm down, having that same feeling like a headache is coming, but it's not. Anything you do and move around, you start bouncing around. Even when your head is shaking, you feel. Sometimes when I have a bad headache and it's going away, and then I feel that feeling, if I even lay a certain way, like I lay like this and my head is hitting the back of the pillow, I'm like, oh no, can't lay like that. I feel that same sensation. I might have to turn over to my side or sit up for a little bit. Like, it's wild stuff when you get bad headaches, man. So I'm just saying, I don't know what RJ is going through. I think people don't understand that it's as serious as they think. That's why they're trying to say it's probably the knee, all this other stuff. Look, guys, I don't know. As someone who's had bad headaches before and had to go to a doctor to find out what the hell I could do about it, I was thinking I may have a tumor in my brain. Like, I'm telling y'all, it's been crazy. So you just never know, man. That's all I got about that. All right, so shout out to LB So Wavy 718 in the building. He says, I have vertigo before 10 years ago. Anytime you get up, you feel like vomiting, feels like the room is spinning. And I kind of think like when you get those bad migraines, you get that feeling too. Sometimes, it can happen. Like, I've had feelings like, whatever, that's too much information, but like it makes you feel like stuff is about to happen everywhere. And I'm just saying, like, when you get a really bad one, oh no, it's the worst. Shout out to Pierre Moise in the building. Yo, what's good? Appreciate you. Yeah, and one more thing. Listen, I don't know how long. Apparently, we haven't really heard this, but apparently they said that RJ suffered from migraines. He's had them since high school, since Duke days. I guess he's been able to kind of keep them at bay, do little things. But let me tell you, sometimes, guys, these migraines, if you get them bad and you don't have the proper treatment, or you don't know what to do, or it's just your own chemistry and physical makeup, these migraines can tear you apart. You guys remember, I don't know if you're big football people, but Percy Harvin, who used to play for the Minnesota Vikings, that guy was a monster, speedster, had all types of great athleticism. He got really bad migraines. He had to be knocked out for games, bro. There's so many games that Percy Harvin missed because of migraines. So it depends on how you get them. I hope RJ we can get past this and we can move on from it. He don't get them like that, but you just never know. See, Ice Mike, that's an example. I understand. You got, when you don't, maybe you've got migraines before and you've dealt with them differently. Let me tell you something. Migraines, if you get them really bad, will knock you out. And you think if I'm dealing with a migraine and I can't deal with lights, I don't want to hear noise. You think I want to run around on a basketball court? You think I'm going to be able to shoot? No, it ain't going to happen. You think I'm going to play defense? It's going to be rough, bro. Just saying. But I hear you. I know most people, when, that's the whole thing in life. And I'm not saying you're that way, but I'm just saying most people, when you're not someone who's dealt with it or it's affected you really badly, you can't see it. So you're like, I've played with a broken finger. My leg was almost broke. I had a bad sprain. I played through the whole game. It's different. It's different. When your brain is going through some stuff, you remember your brain affects everything in you. It's different. Okay. All right. I'm off my tangent. This is my migraine official statement.
Big question for Shy. Shy, you think I was surprised last night when they said, Grimes were going to be out, of course, and they decided to start Dante instead of Quickley. I thought it would be an opportunity to get a look at Quickley playing with Brunson in the backcourt, which I think is very underrated, because if you look at the game against Atlanta, when we came back and we were doing well, I mean, Quickley and Brunson, they seem to play really good together, and it gives us an extra ball handler, on the court. Not saying that Dante, can't handle the rock or whatever, but it just looks good, man. Quickley looks good playing that, off the ball, like Maxi's doing over in Philly. I pretty much look at them as looking at, model. I mean, they're almost identical to me in their playing style. The only thing I think Quickley should be used more as a spot up, catch and shoot. And what do you guys think about it?
Well, to be honest, I don't know if I was in the isolated with saying this, but I thought IQ could have started at point guard before we got Brunson. So him coming into the first unit. I'm not opposed to it, but I think his role, and I hate to say it like this, if it's a role, because he closes out a lot of games for us. He doesn't start, but he closes out a lot of games for us. He really blossoms in that second unit. You know what I mean? And for what it is, if we're not going to have Grimes tonight, I would probably prefer to see Josh Hart or DiVincenzo than Josh Hart, to put Josh Hart back in the second unit, because DiVincenzo is what I don't want to say aspire too much, because they're different style players, but the way of shooting that DiVincenzo shoots, he gets the ball, he chucks it. If he has to, he'll shoot the ball, and that's where the way that I want Grimes to be. But to start, I really, to tell you, like I said, Double A, I really thought that IQ could have been our starting point guard before the acquisition of Jalen Brunson. That's who I thought we was going to be. I thought it was going to be Jalen Brunson. I thought it was going to be IQ and Quinton Grimes as the starting point guard and shooting guard for us. So if he comes in as a second year, it doesn't make a difference, because if he comes in and plays, he's going to play just as well as if he comes off the bench, because he usually is in the fourth quarter part of the basketball. So if he starts or he doesn't, IQ has a place in that second unit and also in that fourth quarter. You've seen in the last two games, the fourth quarter, he's been electrifying, and he usually does that a lot. You know what I mean? And I think if he starts or not, as long as he gets the nod for being that sixth man for this year, I'm happy.
Ryan?
Nah, I agree with that. I'm okay with that too. Like I just think the way things are moving right now with this team, I think the way everybody has their role, I think it fits fine. And I think as long as everybody continues to buy in, we straight. As long as Quickley is not, and Quickley has been, listen, Quickley is the guy who has everything in front of him, right? He has a chance to make some really good money to change his life. He's already making decent money, but this is life-changing money he's about to get, no matter how much it is, 20 million, 30 million, I don't care. Yeah. It's life-changing, right?
100
million.
And
he's also in a situation where he's going to either continue to keep this role or he's going to get a higher role. But even in that higher role, what's really different, right? You know what I mean? He goes to the Orlando Magic. I'm just throwing something out there, right? He gets that starter money, which he's probably going to get no matter where he's at, and he's in a starter position. The only difference is about 5 minutes, right? Quickley's playing 30 minutes per game. Last night he played 33 minutes, okay? So only difference is really maybe 5 minutes here or there, depending on where you're at. Talk about role. Is he a starter? Does the ball and everything go through him? No, I mean, it doesn't, but that doesn't mean it will if he goes to start for another team. He can go to Philadelphia right now. Is he the number one option? No, it's Embiid. No. Is he the number two option? No, it's Maxey. So it's not about that either. I think in this Knicks situation, he's here as the sixth man. He's playing 30 minutes. He's running the second unit, and he's the primary scoring option on that unit. This is a really good look for him. This is a really good look for him. So I think that he should continue to hope that they can work something out with the Knicks. If the Knicks are offering 25 and he can get 30 from somewhere else, I mean, is that $5 million per year that much more important to you than being on the Knicks team where you're here with your brothers, you built up, a concentration, you're close to your hometown in Washington, you already know you're respected by everybody on the team. Thibodeau loves you, whether or not he's here or not. The front office is big fans of you. You're in this role that they have intentionally not put anybody else in that role. They've given you the role, let you run that offense from the second unit. I don't know. I mean, sometimes money does matter, but if I'm making, $2 or $3 million per year or $4 million per year, and I'm about to go up to making $25 million per year, and if I'm not greedy, I'm not gonna not take that 25 just in order to get the 30 for 4 years and get that extra 5. That's another 20 million. I get it. But if I'm happy where I'm at, I love how close I am to my family. I love my teammates, and I'm going to be making 25 million, which is like 20 million more per year than I'm already making. I'm content with that. But not everybody sees it the same way. So I don't know. We'll see.
Both of you are correct. My whole thing is, I think the thing that's going to way to scale this opportunity, I think Quickley views himself as a starter, and rightfully so. I think he earned that thing, and I think he for us, as far as us, the position he is ideal. I mean, he's a great big asset to us, but I think having the opportunity to start, I think that's something that I think that will weigh on his decision. And I think the Knicks would do well to give him an opportunity to see if indeed he can fill that role, because we can all agree the one downside to Grimes is he's not aggressive enough. He's not aggressive enough in that lineup for us. Now, Quickley, one thing Quickley has done year by year is his defense has improved dramatically. So, we're talking about, adding a DeRozan, or putting somebody or trading for somebody else to put in that spot. What I'm saying is, why not give Quickley a shot at it? We got guys, we got Hart, we got Dante, we got guys that can fill that role in the second unit. We bring in Bogo, somebody like that. He'll add, to the scoring, to the second unit. But I think he that's what he wants. He wants that opportunity. And I think he would look good. And that's why I'm shocked. I'm surprised that Thibodeau didn't use the opportunity of Grimes going down to take a look at it and see how it would look, with Quickley playing off the ball with Brunson. Because if you look at it, the way you can play off each other, man, one time Brunson can play off the ball, which, I mean, the way he's shooting the 3 ball would be, fantastic. Somebody screening them off ball and quickly getting them to rock, vice versa. I think that would add an element to our offense that we don't have right now, just because Grimes, he gets the ball right away. He's thinking pass first instead of, shot first.
I see what you're saying. And so this is my thing. Like, if they were able to trade for Bogdanovich, for Bojan, then yeah, I'm okay with possibly trying that out and having Dante DiVincenzo run the point as the 6th man coming off the bench, having Hart, Bojan coming off the bench as the 3, and then you've got Hartenstein at the backup, the center, and I don't know who the hell you use at the backup power forward, if you even use anybody, or if you just have Julius interchanging with that
RJ,
or even RJ. Yeah, correct. Yeah, that could definitely. I would be okay with that, but you got to go get Bojan because you need another scoring answer for that second unit. So this is the thing, and that's the reason why. I mean, it's kind of like knowing Tom Thibodeau. The writing's on the wall with that. Double A. The reason why he can't insert IQ into that starting lineup, especially right now, is because you're down 2 players. Like, there's no Grimes, there's no RJ. That second unit would be pretty bare. And to have Dante DiVincenzo, who is not, he's He can go get his shot. He's a playmaker type, but he's just like, as far as scoring efficiency, he's not the most efficient to knock it down. And I can say, I'm going to get 15 to 20 points from Dante DiVincenzo. Don't knock it down. It's like tap. I can't say that yet, at least not with the Knicks yet. And Josh Hart, we already know he's not, the aggressive guy on offense like that. Hartenstein doesn't have all of the offensive prowess. He can score a little bit down low when you give him the ball around the paint. His outside shot is limited. I don't care what we thought he might be, but it's just limited. It is what it is. And so with knowing that we have a limited roster with these injuries, he can't afford to take Quickley out of that 6-man role. And so the other thing about the 6-man role too is, don't forget, still there's been games, 2 or 3 games so far this season, where the bench has looked better than the starters in totality. And that is because of everybody out there and Quickley. Until you can get somebody to kind of help make up for what Quickley brings offensively to that bench unit, I think he's got to stay there. But like I said, if you can add somebody and add to the bench, then you can take that opportunity and move quick up, because I do think that Dante has enough ball handling skills to orchestrate the second unit. But the Thibodeau and the coaching staff also has to develop some plays, because they can't be out there. They don't have that same type of level of talent to be just doing whatever they want out there. We saw it last night with that crazy unit with Fournier, Hart, Hartenstein, Quickley, well, I keep forgetting that fourth person. God damn, all day I've been forgetting that fourth person. But whoever it was, they just didn't have enough scoring. So that's what I'm saying. And the ball was stagnant. It wasn't moving. And Dante wasn't out there, by the way, at that time. So I'm just putting that out there. But yeah, it just didn't look good. Like, it was just IQ, and IQ wasn't going crazy yet. Now later, IQ started to get busy with a shot. But at that point, that the offense looked real stagnant. So, yeah, but I'm with you. I just think that they need one more offensive player to help offset, because what you don't want is for the Knicks to play a game against a tough team like a Boston or whoever, and they're basically playing at a standstill. Maybe there's a 5-point difference, whether the Knicks are up by 5 or Boston's up by 5, and then they start resting the starters on both sides. The bench comes in, and we got nothing coming from the bench. Like, Quickley's waiting on the sidelines with Julius and whoever else, and that bench unit comes in there, and the bench from Boston outscores us, because that bench from Boston, they're not the greatest at ball handling and moving the ball around, but they shoot, and they were putting up points against us. So you got to have some firepower out there. That's my take on it.
And with that, I mean, that Bogo trade looks like a no-brainer, man. Especially if all you got to give up is Fournier, somebody you not really have no use for, and that opens up some opportunity,
Yeah, isn't Bojan something like a 6'7" or something like that? He could play some small forward, I believe, right? You're on mute, Ron.
God damn it. I'm trying to, there's background noise over here, so I'm trying to limit that stuff. 6'7" small forward is his role. He's not a power forward. That's not his game. He may have some. I actually thought he was taller than 6'7", but he's 6'7". Yeah. So yeah, that's his game. Another player that I would be interested in too, because I don't know what's going on over there with that team. Then they've got similar type players. Franz Wagner. If we could get Franz Wagner from Orlando, I'd be okay with that. I wouldn't be mad at that at all, because he's got some offensive game, and this year he's taken a little bit of a slow start. This hasn't looked like his typical numbers, even though they're still good. Maybe he's another player that's kind of going through the motions over there. I've been with this team for a few years. We're still at the same point. We got some more young new players. Take him out of that situation, bring him to Madison Square Garden, see how he likes it. You'd be surprised, especially he's young too. We might get something that really helps the team. Craig says, and shout out to you, Craig. Always good to see you. Can you tell me why we are paying $80 million to Josh Hart to be afraid to shoot the ball like Grimes? What does he do that is worth $80 million? Well, I know. Look, I'm going to say this. Josh Hart is a very valuable person on this New York Knicks team. I've said it multiple times that his acquisition last year changed something with these Knicks. They went from playing tough, tight games to having a chance to win in the fourth quarter. to playing those same tough, tight games, but now being confident in that we can get these games done. Josh Hart came in with that attitude. Guys were hustling, getting on the floor, getting loose balls, doing all of the type of things you need to keep the game close. Because remember, when you don't make those positive plays and you just go through the motions, and you commit tons of turnovers, and you don't get the right shots in the clutch moments, you move the ball and people don't step up, that's going to happen, right? But when you can, Josh Hart can go out there and get a turnover or create turnovers. He can push the ball up the court and create some pace with the Knicks that are a slow-paced team. That helps. When he can be willing to knock down an open jumper and give us another option. I know he's not aggressive, and we get mad at that. But when he does, that gives us that option to. We didn't pay Josh Hart because of his scoring. We just didn't. We paid him because he's a good defender. He's a hustle player, and he comes in with the right mentality, the right attitude, and he gives us a little bit of a toughness because this Knicks team is technically overall it's like a soft team. You know what I mean? Julius got some spunk. Jalen, now that he's here, he's got some spunk, and Josh Hart has spunk. I don't know about Dante yet. Dante has a good, he's a veteran type player. I don't know if he's got that spunk, but he brings that. Because even RJ, does RJ back down? Yeah, he does. I've seen RJ get in the middle of stuff, and I'm like, RJ puts up that face like, yo, what? And then it's like, like, come on, RJ. Dude, who is this dude to you, man? Get up in his face, man. Shut him up. I'll be mad sometimes, but it's okay. It's all right. That's because I love that 90s Knicks, that grit, but we took it a little too far in the 90s sometimes. but like, technically we're a soft team, so we need a little bit of that edge. And the other thing about Josh Hart is not just about the Knicks guys. Josh Hart is respected around the league. When we go play his former teams, those former teams love Josh Hart because they know what he brought to the team. That is, and the other thing is, look at how other guys are playing because of Josh Hart being here. So I get it. Was he worth $80 million? No. I will be the first to say we overpaid for Josh Hart. Yes, we did. But sometimes you got to overpay to get something that your team has been missing that helps you. As I said, once again, we are not that far removed from going into games up 20 points at halftime, going into the second quarters of games, third quarters of games, watching leads evaporate, going into the fourth quarter with leads of 15 or more, and losing games, man, because we didn't have the right people out there with the basketball. So that's all I got to say about that. But I get it. I hear you 100%. Should he be making $80 million for those 4 years? Probably not. It's a little bit more. But the Knicks have the money right now. The salary cap and all that stuff's going up. So they felt that they could take the chance and overpay for him.
One thing that's hurting Josh is, except for since RJ's been hurt, he's been playing out of position. You know what I mean? We got to realize Josh Hart, he's Josh Hart because, he going against people his height, guards, small forwards. I mean, he has the advantage. He jumps over them. I mean, he's a top rebounder. Well, he's playing out of position, so he's sacrificing. But, I mean, he's the perfect example of that cliche intangibles. He brings intangibles. He brings things that not reflected in the stat line. You're not going to find them in the stat line. You're not going to see the hard picks or the hustle or the times he keeps the ball alive or keeps us on offense, and the hustle, and not only that, I guess that the attitude and the bravado that you're talking about that he brings to the team. He brings toughness to the team. We didn't have that before Josh Hart. We didn't have that.
Agreed. I think that's the difference. Like, I think, look, the bottom line here is Josh Hart is a scrappy, a physical, and he's a tough type player that we need without being too over the top. He's not a Patrick Beverly type. He's not a Dylan Brooks type, which might have been too much for New York, and that type of element that it brings. But he gives us enough toughness that we were missing. He's a little overpaid, yes. And offensively, he's not what I thought he was, because I've seen Josh Hart score before, and apparently he's just not that scoring type anymore. And shout out to Double A for bringing up the fact that, yeah, now the Knicks got him playing out of position, putting him against centers and power forwards, and what, like, that takes away from his strength. But this is our Knicks team, man. This is what we got going on. And like I said, somehow we're top 5 in defense. So you take the good, you take the bad, you take it all, and there you have the facts of Knicks. Wait, is that not how it doesn't go that way? Yeah, whatever. Anyway, kill me. So let's get into this last thing, which is tonight's game, guys, because tonight's game is at 6 p.m. So it should be pretty interesting, should be pretty fun. You know, I don't think the Hornets are going to be a pushover. I think it's actually going to be a little bit of a tough game. So I definitely would not just say that this is going to be a blowout. The Knicks should win this game and can win this game, but I think this might be a little interesting. You know, they've got Miles Bridges is back from his time off. They've got a nice young player in Brandon Miller. They've got Gordon Hayward, who wants to play when Gordon Hayward wants to play, but he can be dangerous when he wants to play. And then you got LaMelo Ball, which, you know, not only do the Knicks not have an answer for, but the rest of the league seems to be struggling against LaMelo Ball lately. He's in his bag, because in the beginning of the season, I was like, what is wrong with LaMelo? But it looks like he's turned it around and got back into what we're used to seeing from him. So, yeah, they could be a little, oh, no, are you serious? Ooh. I know I said that like who's coming? But that's actually, that can make it tough. If Rozier is back tonight too, Charlotte ain't gonna be an old pushover. The Knicks should win this game, but it could get a little dicey, a little interesting, because I respect Terry Rozier's game. He is coming off of not being out there for a while, so maybe he's rusty. But with Terry Rozier, with Bridges, with Brandon Miller, with Hayward, with LaMelo, with PJ Jefferson, who's been playing good, and the rookie from Duke, the center, Mark Williams. They got some players over there, so it's not a walk in the park. The Knicks should still win, but it's not a walk in the park. So we'll see what happens. What's your thoughts on tonight's game, Double A? What you think about the Knicks versus the Hornets?
I think we'll pull it out. I think we're on a good roll. And I think Mitch is playing out his head, and Julius is playing. I mean, Brunson. I mean, we're running full throttle now. You know what I mean? Even without RJ, you know, we're balling. You know, I know they're getting some players back, they're getting Rozier back and Bridges back, but you know they haven't played together. You know, so that's going to affect a little bit about their play. So I think we'll win it. I don't think it'll be as tough as a game as some people think. I think we're on a roll. You know, and I think it's very important for us to stay on this roll. You know, where we're beating teams that we're supposed to be. We're handling our business. You know what I mean? And that gives us the confidence when we go up against the so-called top contenders, you know. But yeah, I think we'll handle our business tonight.
Okay. What's your thoughts, Sha Money? How you feeling about tonight's game? Oh, you're on mute.
I think we just go out there, you know, and play consistent basketball. Control the pace, grab our rebounds, hit our free throws. And if we can, shoot over 36% from the 3-point line. You know what I mean? With that being said, I think you know, the Knicks fare well against all the teams in the NBA. And I think tonight, with Rozier coming back, not playing for a couple of games, first game back for Bridges, he's probably gonna have to work himself back into get his lungs burning again from running up and down the court. I think we can get in there and sneak in there and take a win from these guys. You know, I take nothing away from this team. LaMelo Ball is playing out of his mind, but we got some players on our team that can do the same. So let's hope that our team steps up, control the pace, grab rebounds, hit our free throws, and try to shoot over 36% from the 3-point line.
Okay. I'll rock with that. I'll definitely be happy to see that. Yeah, I mean, looking at the tail of the tape, I'm just going over it real quick because we just played Charlotte not too long ago, and this was very similar to how it looks right now. So we kind of already went over this, but points. Charlotte is scoring a little bit better than us, 113 to 110, and that is before having Bridges back, getting Rozier back. So just like I said, can't take Charlotte lightly, guys. They can score the basketball. They don't play no defense really, but they can score the basketball. Rebounding 45 to 47. That's something to watch. Assists, they get more assists than us by 24 to 23. Steals, we get a little bit better at the steals than them, 8 to 7. Blocks, they do better job at blocking, almost 2 more blocks per game than us, 4.5 to 2.4. Turnovers, they're a little more reckless with the ball, 14 to 12.1. Field goal percentage, I'm gonna go back to this, 47.1 to 43.8. 3-point percentage, 31% to 37%. What did I say before? And I apologize. I said the wrong thing earlier. I was crazy with it. I said the Knicks are shooting 46% from three.
Yeah, that was that game though. The game that they played, they shot
that's what it was.
40,
I was looking at the game. That was my fault. I confused it. But 37.6% is higher than the league average. So that's good for the Knicks. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. 76% from the free throw line for Charlotte compared to 72 for the Knicks. That number is starting to creep up. The Knicks have been shooting better from the line recently. So I think that'll get better as time goes by. But the one thing I wanted to point out to you before, and I think this is still the same thing, that 47% from the field for Charlotte compared to the 43 for the Knicks. Charlotte shoots a lot of shots in the paint. Let me see if that's the case still. I think that's what I remember from the last time we looked at this stuff. Yep, look at that. Knicks are 42 points per game in the paint. Charlotte's 60 points per game in the paint. They're going to have to watch that again. Second chance points, 17 to 15. Fast break points, 14 to 12. This is all very similar. But this right here, this points in the paint number, Knicks going to have to watch that. Remember, we got a little fortunate in the last game when we played them. Brandon Miller got off to a hot start in that first quarter, but then he tweaked that ankle, and he tried to give it a go again, and then they had to take him out the game in the second quarter, and that was it. We didn't see him again. So he'll be there for the long haul, most likely. You got, Terry Rozier making his return tonight, even though like we said, that they may not have the chemistry, but just having him out there. Gordon Hayward is still a problem. LaMelo is going to be a problem. Getting Miles Bridges back is an issue. Yeah. And PJ Jefferson, he gets his points when he plays our bigs too. So we'll see what happens, man. This is not going to be a walk in the park. So is this if you talk about a trap game, this is a trap game. This is a game where the Knicks can play this team, and we should beat them, but they could beat us tonight. So Knicks got to do what they got to do.
Yeah. What you said made me.
He's out. He's out. So I'm sorry. Update. He's out. I'm going with you, Ice Mike. I appreciate you.
No,
go ahead, Double A.
You brought up a point that I forgot about last game. I mean, Miller, man, he was killing us, before he got hurt, and pretty much LaMelo was getting to to the rim at will. So now with them adding Rozier and getting Miller back, that's something that we got to maybe concentrate on, staying in front of these guys and keep them from getting to the hole,
Yeah, I agree with you on that. That's going to be very important. They're going to have to really lock in and see what they can do to avoid Charlotte getting comfortable out there. Make them as uncomfortable as we've done with every other team. And once again, guys, the same fact that I've been holding my hat on with regards to this Knicks team. Shab brought it up. The one game that we played that we let get away from us that we probably could have won was against Cleveland, right? But the other thing too is, out of all of these games, the only game, and I'm going to keep saying it until it's not the case, the only game that we really didn't have a chance of winning was against the Pelicans. Every other game in the last minutes of the game, the last 2 or 3 minutes, we had a chance to win that game. So They just have to continue to do what they've been doing, no matter who's out there on the floor. We've been fortunate that guys have been stepping up, and we need that again tonight. Hopefully, RJ can play, but I doubt it. Looks like he might be out, and if he is out, it is what it is. Next man up, which won't be Fournier because he's probably going to be out. So we'll see what happens tonight. But hopefully Tom Thibodeau has a good idea for changing up the rotation if things don't look good. But I think we'll be okay. I think Brunson's going to have a decent game. I think Randle's going to have a decent game once again. And I'm hoping that IQ can repeat sort of what he did last night. Not asking him for 27, but we need at least that 15 that he's been giving us. If he can give us a little more, we're going to need it because we need scoring from different areas. Hopefully Josh Hart can contribute like 10 points or more. DiVincenzo can give us 10 or more points. And, who knows? Maybe we can even get something from Mitch, 5, 6, 7, 8 points, something. We just need all the points to add up to help us continue to get the, some offense going. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens, man. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. That's what I got, guys. I appreciate you guys for being here and rocking with me. Double A, you got any final words? Oh, you're on mute.
I said a shout out to my man Mitch Robb, man. He's really showing out, man. I'm proud of him, Yeah, no coincidence. Our last one of our great centers, Louisiana, Wills Reed, old school, But shout out to Mitch, man. He's really doing a job for him. I'm hoping he keeps up and he gets recognized for it.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Smash that like button, guys. We got 85 watching. We got 91 likes. Obviously, I know that number may seem like, oh, you got more likes than, but that's obviously people have come and go. So if you here and you haven't smashed that like button, please do so and show your love for the show. See if we can get to 100 likes. This has been a great show today. Great panelists. The chat has been on fire. You guys have been fantastic. A lot of people showing love for our Knicks tonight. I appreciate all you guys. So if you could smash that like button, that'll be fantastic for the show. Thank you so much. Shah, final words, brother. And I think you guys are about to go on soon, right?
Yes. Salute to Double A. Thanks for being on here, Ron. Thank you for letting me come in and join your great show. Knicks, Knicks Real Talk comes on. I think we come on at what time is the game today? 7:30?
6 o'clock. No, 6.
Oh, so we coming on at like 5:30. So we'll probably be at 6. If we come on at 6, we'll be on at 5. Come check us out on YouTube, Knicks Real Talk. Come like and subscribe, run them up with the thumbs up and all that good stuff. Once again, salute to you, Double A. Salute to you, Ron. Thank you for having me on. Let's get it.
Salute, shot.
You're ready.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Appreciate you guys once again. Thanks to all of y'all once again. Thanks to all the panelists. Sha Money. Please like, comment, subscribe, support his show. Knicks Real Talk, him and Divine. Great show. If you haven't checked it out, please go show them some love. They'll be on around 5, like he said. Shout out to Double A once again. Thank you for being here, my guy Alan. Shout out to Jay Boogie, who gave us an appearance driving in the whip. Appreciate you, Jay Boogie. And also shout out to my guy who opened up the show with me, my guy Jigga Man Porto from the Morning Brew Sports Network, man. Thank you so much to him. Appreciate him for being here and rocking with us. Please, guys, once again, I'm on my little campaign. It's not a big campaign, but I'm trying. If you guys show some love to Morning Brew Sports Network, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But for the most part, view the show. They've got the subscribers. You guys have tuned in, but you need to consistently tune in and be there. The numbers need to go up for the content they got, the special guests they got, and all the stuff that they do. Show them some love. Not everybody can put together a nice show, give you interviews with different people, and can continue to create good content. But imagine doing that times 8, 9, 10, because you're doing it for multiple shows. And Jigga Man is back in there, puppet master, pulling the strings. He's setting up the stuff for everybody's show and doing that and being in the background. Like, it's a lot of work, man. So please show them some love and support their show. Outside of that, I think that's all I got, guys. Let's go Knicks. Let's hopefully they pull out the victory tonight the way they should and continue to get a nice little streak going, man. We the Jekyll and Hyde Knicks for a reason, man. We go on streaks. They could be bad, they could be good, But right now, I think we're in the middle of a good streak. Let's keep it going, man. That's right, Frank Matos, Knicks Real Talk. Let's go. D Cooler 718. What's good, man? Watch that replay, gang, man. What's good, brother? We out of here. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. And this is just for your eyes again. Gotcha. Oh, bam. Woo-wee. Watch your eyes. I'm gonna get y'all. Yeah, man. That's what the court might look like on on Friday when we play Miami next week. So get your eyes ready, folks. That's what it may look like. Okay, we out of here. Catch you on the next one. As I always say, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still, Knicks fans, we'll be back again, whether it be on Saturdays, 11:30-ish for Know the Ledge. Mondays, SKF Weekly with your man Ron, John, and my brother Jose holding it down. Or Thursdays for the NBA wrap-up at 8:30 on Nothing But Knicks. Guys, there won't be an NBA wrap-up this Thursday because it's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all of y'all. If I don't see y'all on Monday night, appreciate y'all. But if you haven't checked out the past one, this past episode, we had Mike Blaze on this past Thursday on MBK, the NBA wrap-up. Mike Blaze is Jay Boogie's personal producer who produces all of his tracks, or at least the majority of the tracks. And he's dope, man. He really knows his stuff about producing. We got into a really great conversation. So check that out if you're interested in that stuff. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. Sorry. We out of here for real this time. We'll catch you on the next one. Enjoy this game. Let's go, Knicks.
All right,
Let's
Ryan.
get it.
Later.
Later.